You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austen Show.
Well, here it is, the story everybody's talking about after the game. After a Jaguars win, Liam Coen Robert Saleh getting a little bit of an exchange, and it didn't get much more than that, but the words were loud. The words had to be bleeped out, and both gentlemen not happy with each other. Crazy to think that one of those two guys was going to end up as the Jaguars head coach. Saleh was in the mix. That guy ended up as the Jaguars head coach in Liam Coen. And right now, his tenure is off to a heck of a start. And it seems like a great hire by Shad Khan because the Jaguars are 3-1 after a West Coast win against a team they hadn't beaten in 20 years. Good morning, everybody. Back from San Francisco. Short night, but who cares, right? The Jaguars have won again, and the Jaguars are 3-1. Who would have thunk it when you looked at this schedule when it came out in May? And they had to do it a little bit different because the teams are playing are a little bit different than maybe we thought they'd be on paper. But the Jaguars are doing it in a variety of ways, of course, on the strength of a defense that now has 13 turnovers this season, which is pretty incredible. We are live at a golf tournament. We are live at the Constellation Furyk and Friends event, which will happen later this week. The Pro-Am is today. Of course, a big golf time with the Ryder Cup and Team Europe winning. But this event is fantastic. The final year here at Timuquana Country Club, and it's been a great host. It's one of the best golf courses we've got in Northeast Florida, and it will play like it this weekend for some of the stars of the sport on the Champions Tour. And, of course, all this headed up by Jim Furyk and his wife Tabitha as well. They've raised now more than $4.5 million for local charities. So we'll talk a little bit about the event. We'll talk maybe a little bit about the Ryder Cup. I could go on for a while. Maybe a little bit about Major League Baseball because we've got playoffs now. Maybe a little bit about college football, but Hamby just spent an hour on that on Stadium Pulse on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. So we're going to talk a lot about the Jaguars and going to 3-1 and also the NFL weekend, which continues to get pretty interesting. You're watching us here on ActionSportsJax.com, all the social media channels, and let's get right to it. How did you feel about the end of that game? And, you know, I saw this brewing a little bit. Really on Friday, we take you back to, well, Thursday, really, because that's when Robert Saleh's words came out. And everybody knows what happened there now if you're paying attention to this story with the legal Stein stealing. That was a bad choice of words. We gave Saleh on Friday the benefit of the doubt, at least I did, the benefit of the doubt saying, hey, I think he was trying to afford them a compliment, but that was a bad choice of words. And when you say sign stealing in sports, that's an accusation. There's no such thing as illegal sign stealing. Well, I mean, there kind of is, but it doesn't have a good connotation. Let's just say it that way. So you really start to question integrity and of a staff, and in this case, Liam Coen. Well, Liam Coen didn't say much about it on Friday in his news conference before the game, but you could tell he was bothered by it and mad about it. So probably less bothered, more angered by it, and that was certainly the case. I can tell you there was some anger built up about that whole situation. Coaches don't like that. There's unwritten rules about what you say and don't say, especially in front of a microphone. And also, I do think Liam Coen took this as not only a shot at him, but also a shot at the folks that helped him get this job and get here, like Sean McVay in particular. And Kevin O'Connell takes away from what those guys have done over the years with the Rams and now the Minnesota Vikings. So you add all that together. You add a feisty head coach anyway, which we already like and see. We have the edge of this football team that we haven't seen like this in quite some time, it feels like. And, hey, you get a win, an emotional win on a Sunday. You're still not playing your best football on offense, but you find a way to get it done and get out of San Fran against that team, against that franchise, against that coach, and you get it done. This does not surprise me at all, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I may have told a few people in the organization on the way home, don't be apologetic about it, because I think this organization needs some of this. And I think you can get into a little bit of a PR thing here. You're like, we'll see what Liam Coen does this afternoon when he talks. Is he going to apologize for it? I encourage him not to now. I think this is, hey, San Francisco folks, maybe people around the National Football League are going to say a thing or two about it. Who cares? This is about Jacksonville. This is about this franchise. This is about this city. This is about that locker room. This is about this fan base. And I think everybody here loves it, from us covering it to the football team yesterday. We'll hear from the players. They love the passion this guy plays with, or at least coaches with, every day. I think the fans are embracing this. Gives you a little us against them mentality. And to be honest with you, it shows you, hey, here we are. Like, you don't ever talk about us. Here we are. And now we're on the map, and we've got people's attention here in Jacksonville. And I think this is what this does. I'm not sure that was all intended, but I don't think you'd be apologetic about that at all. Be who you are, right? And I think a little bit, this is what Liam Coen is. Not the guy that's going to get in an exchange after every postgame, but he's emotional, he's passionate, and he's authentic. And it bothered him to the point where it got to that point yesterday after the game. So, Hamby, as we bring you in here, man, I really love this. I can see why if you're in San Francisco, you're going to be like, what is this guy doing? I bet there are talk shows around the country today like, what is he doing? That looks bad. Who cares? And I might have told him that last night.
Yeah, I don't think you would be. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody in Jacksonville that didn't like it, because it just shows Chip. I think that's the thing that it's above all else. I don't care if it was, some people saying, well, he shouldn't be so sensitive, and Kyle Shanahan saying that as well. Which, by the way, that's as a side note, coming from him is pretty insane. Let's just say that. But whether it was sensitive or not, the fact of the matter is that Doug wouldn't have done anything, and we need a little juice. We need energy, edge. All of those things have been preached all offseason, and the fact that he kind of stood on it, it's like, hey, if I don't like it, I'm not just going to pretend that I don't care just so we can, move on and we can avoid a story and we can avoid any kind of, verbal altercation on the field. If I don't like it, I'm going to let you know. And it's as simple as that. And showing energy, again, that's a lot of Jags fans, I think, pretty much say it's encapsulating Duval. And again, if they think that, huge win.
Yeah, I think, listen, again, to me, this isn't really about the whole Saleh stuff and Shanahan as much as this is about what this team is kind of becoming. And I know this is going to be the headline. It should be. I mean, by the way, shout out to Marcel. He got that video, did a good job of it and getting it. And obviously it's all over the place. I like with that Action Sports Shacks logo on it, by the way, I might say, but it's all over the place. So it was a busy evening for the Action Sports Shacks team from San Fran all the way back to Jacksonville, and appreciate everybody jumping in because we got everybody calling us for that kind of video. And, I don't think it's necessarily about San Fran as much. We can make it that way, and I know the fans will now go back and forth, love it, that's fine, all good. Kyle Shanahan's a prickly guy to begin with. Saleh, from my view, is a really good dude. I covered Saleh, I know Saleh a bit, and he's a good dude. But I do think I said this Friday, he made a bad word choice on that news conference on Thursday. Whether he meant to do something with it or not, bad word choice. And it made Liam Coen and his staff look pretty bad, I think. So they took it personal. And that's okay. Again, edge, all this stuff we're seeing try to change. And, I don't also I know you said, Doug, there, I don't love comparing everything to the past regimes because I think Doug Peterson did a lot of good things here in Jacksonville. And I know he didn't in the last 18 months of his tenure, but the first 18 months he sure as hell did. In fact, this football team played pretty tough in 22 at the end and 23 at the end. So it's not like we haven't seen tough football, but this is different kind of physical toughness now that the Jaguars are playing with, instilled by a guy like that and Liam Coen and the rest of his staff, where this team, now I can't remember this, Hamby, been here 18 seasons now, and I don't remember, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I don't remember a Jaguars football team going 4 for 4 and being the more physical football team. Forget about the wins and the losses and everything else right now. They are the more physical football team. And I brought this up Friday. What did I say? I was a little concerned because they had come off a very physical football game against Houston, kind of on the heels of one of those, a little physical at least against Cincinnati. And now you got to go out west and play a physical team in San Fran. That's their style of ball too. They're tough. The Jags brought it, man. I was really impressed that they brought it. How about some of those hits that they delivered, even on catches? Right? Yeah. We haven't seen that kind of physicality. And now we're seeing them fast and physical on defense. Run for another 150-plus yards. You'd still like to get a couple more things going. Absolutely. But I'm talking about the style. And the Coen style there at the end of that game. The Coen style in the locker room after games, before games. The Coen style even on a microphone sometimes on a podium. I think it all fits. It's all part of it. It's not a show either. It's real. And that's what I really like about it. This is not a calculated type of thing. This is who they want to be. And right now, in short order, and really in an off season, they've become this in the first month of the year. And it's part of the reason they're 3-1. Sure, the turnovers are and everything else. But I think this mentality is part of the reason they are 3-1. We asked for juice. They used the word edge. I think it's kind of the same thing. And a little swagger around here. Right now, the Jags got it.
Yeah.
The Jags got it. And some of their guys are playing with it. Their coach is coaching with it. And it's not even all good. You can do this if you're 3-1. This would have looked really bad probably if you're 1-3. And I'll give you one other thing about this. And I said this to people yesterday after the game. This is who he is. And at some point down the road, and maybe even this was for some people, this will come back and bite him at times. Not this moment, but he'll get brash in a spot, and maybe they lose or whatever, and it's not going to look great, not going to feel great. But you know what? Again, it's who he is. And I would have had a problem with this a little bit more on this side of it here in Jacksonville, on this coast, if they were 1-3. But they're not. They're 3-1, and right now they're backing it up, and this is part of changing it. So I'll say it again, and I'll tell you, I told a lot of folks this yesterday. Do not apologize for it. Unapologetic right now. Do not go PR this afternoon and apologize for it. It's fine. It's good. And you can feel it here in town that they like it. The people like it. In the building, I think they like it. I don't think they'll apologize for it. I hope they don't apologize for it. It's football. It's emotional. Words can exchange. It's sports. It's competitive. There's nothing to apologize for, in my opinion, here at all. Probably on either side. I do think some of the comments that we interpreted and transcribed from Saleh may catch the NFL's attention a little bit, maybe a little bit much. But even that, it's sports. I'm not going to hold that against them either. Don't apologize for it is the message this morning for me, Hamby.
Yeah, to go back real quick, I compared to Doug. I wasn't that big of a Doug hater. It's not like, I didn't like him because we weren't winning, and I thought he wouldn't change offensively and scheme and all that stuff. But personality, didn't really have anything against him except for the fact that it goes back to the Texans game for me. That wasn't Liam Coen's attitude right now is we're not going to take anything from anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care, and I bet you that will play into the Chiefs. We're not going to take anything from the Chiefs. We're not going to take anything from the 49ers. Not going to take anything from Saleh. Last year, that was not the message. Doug, we will take something from the Texans, and we won't do anything about it. No, if we got something to do, if we got something to say, we're going to say it. That's Liam Coen's message, and I do think that kind of translates to what we're seeing on the field. On a 3rd and 1 that we haven't gotten here in 3 years. They run it right up the middle, and 3 guys get behind Trevor, and on the second effort, it works. And it was a big play in the football game. These guys are, like you said, hitting at a level I don't think we've seen here in a long time. Whether it's Dewey hitting Juwan Jennings to break that ball up, or just, Juszczyk took a couple pops, Christian McCaffrey took a bunch of them. Is they're trying to set, and if you, again, like you said, if you apologize for it, it sets you back a little bit. Whether that really matters on the field, probably not. But this is your MO right now, is toughness and fighting back. Even after the Houston game, what was Trevor's overlying message? We're not going to be bullied by anybody. We're not going to take anything from anybody. I think that's Duval. I think that's Liam Coen. And right now, I think it's the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think it's good. We'll see where it goes from here. I don't think also, I will say this, just from a kind of as try to be not a bias or anything. And listen, there's nothing better right now in Jacksonville. Jacksonville winning football games, and we got storylines. I'm as happy as can be. I don't even need to sleep with what's going on here in Jacksonville compared to what's happened a lot of times over the years. So this is terrific. But I will try to be, from a neutral observer standpoint, you got to pick your spots when you do this too. You can't just always be doing this kind of stuff. But I think that's okay, like once in a while, to poke the bear a little bit, And I do, by the way, I don't think at all, and I've seen this a little bit, like, hey, this might have been a calculated thing. I see what he was doing. Nah, I don't think so. I think this was raw. I think he was really bothered by the words and the accusations, if you will. of last week, and that's the way they interpreted it. And if it was left for different interpretation for Shanahan, fine. But that's not the point. They interpreted it a certain way, and they were pissed about it. And this was raw, genuine stuff. Now, you still got to go win a football game. You got to coach, all that. It didn't get in the way of any of that. But this was just real. This was not an act. And again, that's what I kind of like about it because, hey, things bother you. And be real about it. And he was in that spot. And again, you're going to have to pull back sometimes. You got to measure yourself sometimes. I'm fine with it right there. And really, really, in a weird way, good stuff, I think, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We keep talking about that. We will revisit it throughout the rest of the show. It's obviously a huge story. But what about the football game now? And, shoot, there's so much to get into here. Probably three things enter my mind. We continue to talk about this defense as we should, and all the different players that are making plays, all the different players that played yesterday is significant to me. The Jags got beat up in this football game, and they still were able to rotate guys in, and guys were making plays, and you didn't see this huge drop-off. The pass rush dropped off when Travon went out, right? I mean, that's pretty clear and probably expected. And we'll see about that. That could be a significant injury. I don't know anything. They don't really shed a lot of light on the injuries. It's a wrist from everything I can tell, and we heard, and I think was shared. But who knows? So I'm not going to speculate on it, but that would be a big injury if it's a matter of time where he would lose, which I think there's some potential there if he missed the entire second half. But we'll also see what they can do with that and if he can play. And even if he does play, does it limit him a little bit? So that's a storyline. But the big overarching thing is the defense. I mean, wow, the defense. Another thing I come away from thinking here is how much coaching matters, and we wondered that, and some people put a lot of credence into that. I'll be honest with you, I'm more of this is a players' league. Players play. I think we're seeing this really, just its impact on the coaching front, and I'll go into detail on that in a moment. And then the other thing is, and I'm not going to listen, they're coming off a win. We're going to talk about a clunky Jags offense at times that continues to try to figure things out in the passing game. But I don't think we should overlook the idea that this is an offensive line right now, in my opinion, maybe playing the best football we've seen from an offensive line in more than a decade in Jacksonville at the very least. I don't know how far we got to go back, but everybody complains about an offensive line. You're not complaining about these guys right now. Man, Robert Hainsey's been so good, but that whole line has been good. They're banged up a bit, and they're battling, and they have the third best rushing team in the league, and they also are keeping Trevor Lawrence clean. Did you see the stat that I retweeted last night?
Yeah, I got it right here.
First time with no QB hits, I think it was, or
the
pressures.
49ers failed to record a quarterback hit for the first time since 2015. 10 years.
2015. I mean, I know Bosa's out, of course. That's still a good defense. And that's a remarkable stat in a 60-minute football game. So that's unbelievable, really, that they were able to do that. And it's not like the Jags are playing a bunch of quick game either. I mean, Trevor's sitting back there and trying to figure things out. And then the last part of that offense, just to reiterate, is Travis Etienne. I mean, you got to continue to mention Travis. I think Travis Etienne gets lost in this game with all the stuff. Defense, the coaching exchange at the end. Travis Etienne, I mean, this guy has 400 yards in 4 games, just shy of it. He's been tremendous to turn that run. I mean, everybody's seeing it. It's like, man, he looks good. Yeah. He does. It's that the burst. Look. Forget about the stats. It's the look. The burst is there. The decisiveness is there. And tough runs, again, are back. Like, this is fun to watch. Travis Etienne run the football. So those are my 3 big takeaways. Go back to defense, coaching, and running the football. Let's stay on time here, and let's hit a break right off the rip, Hamby. And then how about we break that down a little bit, those 3 things, and then also get your thoughts, what really sticks out. We got to talk about Devin Lloyd and his play. Hey, listen, we've got 3 hours on a Monday. This is what we're going to do. So we'll talk about it, and we'll get to the chat a little bit as well. A lot of layers to what's going on here in Jacksonville, but a hell of a start. I mean, what a start. Nobody I can't say I saw this coming, and you know how positive I am from time to time. So we got the defense coming up in just a bit. We'll get to some of the reaction. I really thought the impactful sound of the locker room was the defense of their coach, or just the, oh, man, we're behind this guy. A little college football talk. We got a big one with Florida State, Miami, Florida, Texas. But the Dogs fall in Athens. That was somewhat of a surprising loss. And Brian Thomas Jr., a little bit better. Plus, we have some controversy in the weekend wagers. So we'll get to all that. Got some sprinkles to deal with here today at Timuquana, but overall pretty nice as we're live at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day, just like this.
Did you always want to make history, like think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
That's it back to her left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat.
Eating.
You see that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $100 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval!
ETN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47. CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Eric Armstead holding that game ball, real precious, real high and proud, and he deserves to. In his return to San Fran, the play that seals the deal, a fourth take away for the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. A truly historic pace. They did it again, 4 weeks in a row. So we're not going to just let this slide. Let's go back to last Wednesday for a little snippet from the Brent Austen Show.
Because here's the deal. They're not getting 3 turnovers in this football game. One, there's an added emphasis from San Francisco.
Somebody clip it.
There's
I
an
did.
added emphasis from San Francisco to take care of the ball, especially with some of their injuries. And they just got 3 turnovers in 3 football games for the first time in 31 years. You want them to do it for a 4th game in a row? I mean, come on, let's be real. Now, they might get 2, but they're not getting 3.
Oh, man, I hope they get 3.
They're not getting 3, folks. Like, I know that going into the game.
Really?
Like, they're just not getting 3.
You know it?
Hey, listen, I was thinking about that the whole time. I'm like, I wonder if these guys will remember that. And I guess you did. Of course they did. I was like, there's no way they're going to do this. And, heck, they did it. Unbelievable. Man, it's just an amazing pace. I'll give you one other note there. You know, listen, I feel like I had some logic behind my commentary there, right?
You did.
I mean,
I
thought the big deal for the Jags was to stay clean on their end, and I think that's kind of an undertold part of this so far, at least from yesterday. And I know there are a couple of balls. Maybe the Upton thing should have been a pick, right? The Stout. That was a good break for the Jags. I think that's another thing that there are a couple of breaks in this game the Jags did get. I think if we're being honest. And that's okay. Sometimes you need them because there have been plenty of times the Jags don't get breaks. And but, you know, there were a couple of balls that maybe could have been picked. Obviously, there was that one that was picked, negated by a penalty. But at the end of the day, they had 0 turnovers, you know, and they're not fumbling the football away. I think Trevor's putting a couple balls too much in danger. We'll get to that. But they won the turnover battle by 4. Like, you win those games. I know it didn't look like you beat them by 30, but you win those games. And sometimes that's what you got to do to kind of flip this thing. But Mike DeRocco had a stat like last night, and it was pretty wild to me. He said, so the Jags are on pace for 55 turnovers. The Seattle Seahawks have the record. They had 63 turnovers in 1984, I think he said. 63 turnovers. That was in a 16-game season. They averaged 4 turnovers a game, basically. That is an astonishing number to me. I mean, the Jags aren't going to do that. I can't imagine this pace even keeps up, but it's off to a heck of a start. And, Hamby, people will ask you, it's like, why? Well, in part because you couldn't have done much worse than you did last year. Murphy's Law is going to play out. It's attacking style of defense that they play rather than a sit-back style of defense, and kind of that's what it felt like last year. And then you just have players being coached up and playing at a high level. And so that's where my mind goes. It's like, okay, this team looks really good on defense right now, and I am players over coaches kind of guy. I think you win games by players in the National Football League. And right now I think they're actually winning because of players who are coached up better than they've been coached up. And I think there's no better example of that than Devin Lloyd. We have asked for 4 years to play this guy in a role that fits what he can do. And they are playing him in a role that fits what he can do, and this dude is balling out. His rookie year, he had a bunch of impact plays in the first month of the season. Then he ended up getting benched middle of that season. But this is even more impressive because the tackling's good. There are no, bad plays, it feels like. He's around the ball all the time, and I'm here for it, man. I'm a big fan of Devin Lloyd. It's cool to see this emergence. I don't necessarily think it's got anything to do with a contract here. I think it's all got to do with how you're using a guy and his skill set and using his strengths over his weaknesses, and everybody else is playing pretty good football too.
Yeah, gosh, Devin Lloyd right now, he's got to be the defensive player of the month. I don't know necessarily who else would be even in the running. Is it raining on you?
Yeah, so I'm going to take you're going to leave it on me, but you just take a look at the golf course because this is foolish to sit out here as it pours down. I thought we were going to get sprinkling. I was trying to go low-key, light in my setup today and not do lights because there's just a lot going on. And so if I go too far into this tent, it'll look really dark on camera, and I want it to look pretty for everybody on a Monday here talking about the Jags. But right now, you can kind of see the sun peeking through here at Timuquana, but it's also coming down pretty good. So I don't mind the rain, but I'm not going to sit there and be drenched the rest of the show. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So anyway, carry on. Devin Lloyd is obviously playing at an incredible clip. This up. I've seen people say, well, they should have picked – are we going to really say they should have picked up his fifth-year option? Are we going to really have people say they should have picked up his fifth-year option?
The hindsight bias.
You guys wanted this guy out of town. You guys wanted this guy out of town. And I'll also say this. Hey, man, good for him. And this isn't terrible for the organization. If they find out this is who this guy is, they can pay him. They can also franchise tag him. But let's not go crazy with, they should have extended him. How the heck could you see this coming? There was no evidence of it. I think more people are like, how do you get rid of him? Trade him. There was talk in August that he wasn't even going to be the starting guy. Ventrell Miller was going to either share time or be the starting guy. Right now, the Devin Lloyd story here in Jacksonville is a hell of a good story, Hamby, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely here for it. And I think, the fact that, you get 4 turnovers without Travon, without Foye at times, without Eric Murray for a substantial part of the football game. It's insane. It's insane that you're going to kind of get in that amount of production. And you're all the way down to Rayon Lane on the depth chart playing snaps at safety. Jack Kaiser, yes, you did get shook on that touchdown, but he's playing a lot of snaps as well when Foye is in and out. And it looks like Foye is all good to go, which is really good news. But the ball is finding, the Jags. And I'm going to give you a second here, Brent. Duck and cover. So the ball is finding the Jags, and Liam Coen's asked about it after the game. And he's like, it's not just happening, because I think some of the, when you go from 9 turnovers all of last year to 13 already this year, part of it is luck. Absolutely. I think if you just eliminate that, then I think that would be a foolish thing. It is lucky. The ball is finding. You go back to the Tyson Campbell peanut punch last week. It just finds the arms of Devin Lloyd against the Texans and Nico Collins. That's part of it. But it's also, Liam Coen's talking yesterday, it is the biggest thing in practice. The biggest thing that's preached, the biggest thing that's repped. I can't remember off the top of my head anybody who was good at the peanut punch for the Jaguars. Every time we heard about it, it was the other way around. Somebody else's defender doing it to the Jags, right? If you have one, please let me know in the chat the last time somebody executed a peanut punch to force the ball out and the Jags recovered. I didn't see it at all last year. I didn't see it at all. Maybe my memory's failing me, but this is even years that go back. Everybody in the National Football League has been preaching this and has been doing it, it seems like, except for the Jags the last couple of years. Oh, now they are. And they now seem like they're one of the best teams at it because it's not just one guy. You're seeing Dewey do it, and that one was one where nobody else, that could have been a 5th turnover. There was nobody was in the right spot. Dewey punches that football out, and the 49ers had 3 guys around the ball were able to recover, but he's doing it. Gardick's in there trying to do it. Wingard's doing it. Jordan Lewis, obviously Foye and Devin. Everybody's in there trying to punch at this football, and it looks like something that they have repped hundreds and hundreds of times in practice. Whether they have or haven't, I can't verify, obviously. But it's a thing, and it's the biggest priority in practice, and you're seeing it time and time again. And that, to me, is why I have a lot of confidence that, to some extent, this will continue. This will continue. Because if you're good, it is not lucky to be good at the peanut punch. I think that's something that you practice. You practice your timing. You practice when the ball carrier has it high and tight versus when he's halfway through his next stride and he's got the ball lower towards his waist. I think that's something that we will see the Jags continue to do, as long as Campanile and as long as these guys are still on the team.
Yeah, well, and it makes you play fast, and you're playing physical on top of it. I've just been more impressed almost with the tackling. Like, that's really what has me impressed, because I just don't feel like they're missing a lot of tackles. And I thought they did a nice job on Christian McCaffrey. They did a good enough job on Christian McCaffrey that the two plays that he really impacted had to be a shovel pass down to their end zone, and that was almost snuffed out, and also a little trick play, hook and ladder, just to get him going a bit. So I thought they did a really nice job. Now, Purdy was awful in this game. I mean, he threw it high all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
But, again, the Jags, I don't think the Jags are a defense that's going to give up 180 yards a game. Like, they're not that. But they are opportunistic. They tackle pretty well. They're not giving up explosives. Other than that one drive, they did give up 29, 27, 11. Like, that wasn't a great drive. But overall, it's just fun to watch. And led by, I think, in many respects, I don't know about led by, because you can pick 15 different guys right now. I feel like this team's being led by. But I think you go Devin Lloyd, and you mentioned Foye Oluokun. Like, Devin Lloyd's getting all this attention as he should. He's a splash play guy right now. He's playing better than he's ever played. So and it's really cool to watch. But Foye Oluokun has been the steady guy for this franchise. He's been the steady guy the last 4 years. And he is also playing the best football that we've seen him play. Yeah. He's elevated his game even more. He's playing to me at an all-pro level. He's all over the place, and he's always going to tackle. But now he's getting sacks and tackles for losses, and he's punching balls out. He's recovering footballs. He's got intercept. I mean, he's been so good. Dewey Wingard and those safeties playing really good football. And then, of course, you've got Josh Hines-Allen, who had a nice day against Trent Williams. I thought that was a personal day for him, and I think he did a good job. I think he would have even had a better day if Travon doesn't go out in the second half. Devon Hamilton played a good football game yesterday. I thought he was felt more than I can remember in recent memory yesterday. And then, of course, Armstead comes up with the big play, as you brought up at the start of this segment. So to get back to this whole thing, this is about, to me, defense, but also coaching. The Jags have the personnel. They had the personnel a year ago. What's added to it? Sure, Murray's helped. Jordan Lewis has been outstanding. Gardeck has been outstanding. But a lot of these guys are familiar guys. So to me, it's the best example that we have. That and the offensive line are examples of coaching elevating the personnel that the Jaguars have. And I don't mind admitting this. I have often said, you tell me all about coaching, but it's the players that have got to play. Well, I'll pull back on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the players got to play, but we're seeing coaches really elevate off the last couple of years, and in some respects over the last decade of what this football team is doing versus what those other teams did with various coaches, from position coaches to head coaches and regimes. So that is a really cool thing, because we love a lot of the other stuff outside of the X's and O's. We love the communication, the transparency, the edge to this. It feels good in the building. It feels good around the team. Even before they went 3-1 to start, we were telling you those things. And not a lot of people wanted to hear it unless they were to win football games. Well, now you add all those things that we were telling you about, that we feel that is different, that you can kind of sense is different. And you add 3 wins to it. You see the elevated coaching because of it. You see players play the best football that they've played here. Well, to me, that's a nice recipe. And it also, to get back to the third thing that I brought up in the first segment of the show, where the running game and the offensive line are doing well and playing, another example of coaching, getting the best out of the players, because there are good players in those positions that hadn't played so great the last year or two. This also should give everyone hope that they'll eventually figure it out in the passing game because it's clunky right now. There's no doubt about it. But I think the coaching is way more positive than negative. There are a lot of examples of the coaching across the board elevating this football team right now. And so I'm going to buy into the fact that they will be able to help in the passing game at some point. They can't catch a football for people, but that was a better job yesterday at catching the ball, maybe got on track there. I think they've just got to figure this offense out more consistently. The drive and the first half stuff, 10 of 12 at one time, I think it was for Trevor, really should have been 11 of 12. Brian Thomas Jr. had kind of a bad moment where he stepped out of bounds. He caught the ball, but he stepped out of bounds. And then what happened in the third quarter? What happened in the third quarter against Carolina to Trevor Lawrence? Like, why can't they be more consistent? And what is going on to make this clunky? How are they going to fix that, address that? But I've got confidence, Hamby, that they can do that because of what we've seen so far in the other facets of the coaching staff. And I guess that gets us to our Monday morning quarterback driven by your local Hyundai dealers. And now there's even more to love. And right now there's a lot to love about the Jacksonville Jaguars. And one thing we have not had the luxury of doing in Jacksonville, especially for me, if you try to be positive, specifically early in the season, is having wins to talk about to hide some of the not-so-great stuff. And there's some not-so-great stuff that's happened in the first month. And we know what it is. It's the penalties. It's the inconsistency probably at the quarterback position, but specifically the passing game. It's the lining up. It's the why aren't they all on the same page? It's some of the drop passes that we've seen. So, man, I'm just fascinated, Hamby, to see where this thing goes in the second half of the year. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to run everything Liam Coen wants to even this year. I've said that in the past. This might be an evolution that takes a couple of years in this offense because it seems complicated enough that it's giving some of the players fits to be on the same page, at least through the first 4 games.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be a realist, right, I think the first thought is be happy about the win, very happy about the win. Everything's going in the right direction. At the same time, the Jaguars won the turnover battle by 4 and won the game by 5. It was a sweat down to the very end where you're 1 first down away from the 49ers getting the football back, right? And, you know, who knows what happens then. And you won the turnover battle by 4, which is insane. That should be a 21-point game at minimum. If you probably looked at the stats of every 4-0 turnover margin game in the last 10 years, I bet you the average discrepancy, you know, the margin of victory was at least 20 points. And yet for the Jaguars, it was down to the wire there. So there absolutely is reason for some concern, some hesitation. What happens when this or if this regresses from the defense? You said it last week. It's been amazing to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars defense get 3 turnovers in the first 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. Well, it did happen, but is it going to happen this next week against a Kansas City Chiefs team that for the most part takes very good care of the football? We obviously don't expect this turnover margin to stay this way for, you know, week in and week out. So then what? What happens if the Jags only get 2 against the 49ers? They lose. It's that simple. If they don't get 4, if they only get 2, they lose the football game yesterday. And so you're going to have to take massive steps on offense. Did they have a lot of penalties? Yes. At least they weren't a lot of legal shifts. They had 1, right? They're very penalized right now. So across the board, a lot of ground to make up. They still haven't fixed that in general. At least they fixed the illegal shifts for yesterday. They only had 1. It's a lot better than 4 or 5, right? And they're still running the football. Yeah. But BTJ, even on the, you know, the one on the sideline, that's kind of receiving 101. We got to be able to get both feet down. And it's not just that. It's you know, there's still a miscommunication where Trevor is expecting to come back to the football and BTJ continues to take it up to the sideline. De'Ami Brown, I feel like you noticed his absence pretty loudly and clearly there. But as long as your defense is going to keep you in games, you're going to have a shot, right? And that's a big win just right there.
Well, just to add to one thing about the defense, too, just throw in there, they also stopped them twice in the red zone to kick field goals, so they saved 8 points there, and they also had another turnover on downs. So there are like 7 significant moments on defense in those drives. And again, hey, that's okay. Like, I think sometimes we're like, well, the defense, if they're good, like, it doesn't matter if the offense isn't good. Well, listen, man. I mean, your defense giving up 18 points a game is going to give even a moderate offense a chance to score points and win football games. So don't apologize for it. Special teams has been weird so far, a little leaky at times. Cam Little missed a kick. He'll be our guest tonight, by the way, Jags Report Live. I will tell you, the last 2 weeks, the wind's been swirling, and it's factored into the kicking game more than people on TV can imagine it has. And we'll probably talk to Cam a little bit about that, both the punting game and the place kicking game. Now, some of the more bonehead plays, like stepping out of bounds at the 7-yard line, I mean, like those kind of things, they got to fix. But then offensively, at least they can lean on the running game right now. At least they've got that. But they've got to figure out a way to get this offense going and be less clunky. I mean, they feel like they should have scored 40 points yesterday. And they had stuff out there to do it. Trevor missed a couple. The 2-point conversion, I'll send you this video maybe for the next segment. Marcel Robinson has it really good. He had a good day yesterday. Had the good exchange later after the game. But he has this great shot of Trevor on the 2-point conversion. And Trevor is pissed off.
Yeah.
In the middle of calling the play. I don't know if the TV copy caught that. But the bottom line is the wrong guy goes in motion. And so now you basically blew the play up. It's not that the defense blew the play up. They blew the play up on their own. Like the play that was intended, which I won't give away because I don't want to give that away, but just couldn't be run because of the pre-snap stuff, and that one wasn't on Trevor. So again, this is like everybody, this happens. It's a team game, right? You got 11 different guys. Somebody's going to make a play sometimes, somebody's not. It's going to be somebody else's fault. So there's a variety of reasons. I think right now a lot of emphasis on Trevor because of some of the balls and some of the inaccuracies. And, hey, listen, he should have had Parker Washington on the play where he threw it into tight coverage on Munt early in the game. That was there. I think there's another one later in the half to Travis Hunter where he could have had. I got to go back and watch that one a little bit more. But we wondered in the press box if he could have had Travis Hunter. I think he went to the left side of the field instead. So there are some things there that they could probably easily clean up. But the bottom line is right now, to me, it feels like this offense is a bit too much for them to handle 4 games into the year. And so what I'm interested to see is how Liam Coen adjusts. What will he do? Not to dumb it down. That's not the point here. But what can you do to make it easier for everybody? Because, Hamby, they're coming out of the huddle at like 8 seconds sometimes. Yeah. They're coming out of the huddle way too late. Are the play calls too long? Are they getting it in too late? Are people asking questions in the huddle so they got to verify before they come out? The bottom line is if you get to the line of scrimmage around 7 or 8 seconds, you are at an extreme disadvantage. You're starting to hurry it up. You're processing faster than you want. You can't dissect things across the line of scrimmage. And all of that stuff we think Trevor's doing a really good job with.
Right.
Like they like what he's doing in terms of the offense. I think it's the time that he has to do it or some of the things that other people are messing up operationally. Now, is he messing some things up with his footwork and throws? Yeah, absolutely. But the operation stuff, everything I can gather, Trevor's doing a great job of that. So what are they going to do to fix some of those things, make it a little bit easier, help themselves out, alleviate some of the clunkiness of it, and then marry that to the run game and now hopefully catching the football a bit because stuff's there. And we are just tapping into seeing this offense if they can get it going. But I think it's a fair question to ask that if you think this is who the Jags are on defense, that they're going to give up 20 points or less a game, that they're going to get 2 or 3 turnovers a game. Well, then it's also fair to ask, what are they doing on offense? Are they going to be able to run the football? Yes, it looks like they are all year. But are they also going to be this clunky in the passing game? Well, if you say yes to all the other ones, you kind of have to say yes to that one too right now. Because you can't just fix the negative thing until you see it. So until they change it, this is who they are. How much longer will this go? I think they're actually very fortunate to be 3-1 based on how that passing game has happened in the first month of the year, especially with this schedule. They've got a few more games that are really difficult that you can't get away with this kind of stuff probably. And if they can clean it up in a hurry or at least progress better, they give themselves a chance to go get one or two of these over the next 3. But they've got to, by the back end of the year, in my opinion, be ascending on this offense in the passing game. Because then you can make up for maybe a game where you do only get 1 turnover or 2. It's got to balance out somewhere, but it needs to happen for this offense to really get going and in a rhythm. We haven't really seen a rhythm. A large part of that feels like the penalties more than anything else. There were a bunch more yesterday, and I can't tell you that I sit here with a bunch of confidence if the Jags give up the lead late, have 2 minutes to go and 3 timeouts, that they're actually going to get all the way down the field. Now, for a field goal probably, but for a touchdown drive, the way this passing game is operating right now, I don't have a lot of confidence in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I take it as, Trevor, you can see even on the TV copy how often he is legitimately just telling the receivers what to do and telling the running backs to, flip sides or anything like that. And early on in the season, Liam Coen praised him very significantly for how often he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage, this whole can system that we've talked all offseason about, calling 2 plays in the huddle and all of that. And Coen, as we talked about last week, is he's changing the play 95% of the time. 95% of the time he changes the play, it's the right move. It's the right move. There's only been a couple of plays where maybe we probably just should have stuck with the first one. So, first of all, credit to Trevor for learning the offense over this offseason, knowing it inside and out. I think he does, and I think he's got to know where every receiver, what their job is and their role in every freaking play, and two plays at once. And in that regard, at the same time, hey, maybe we're still doing it a little bit too much, right? It's awesome that you're doing it, but maybe, hey, it's a touch much. Especially, just the fact, just zero in on one play. We're trying to can something with 3 seconds to go in the play clock. It's too much, right? It's way too much. It shouldn't even be on our minds at that point. With 8 seconds to go, maybe even 10 seconds, that's out of our minds. All we're trying to do is making sure our receiver goes in motion. We're picking up a linebacker. We're trying to indicate man or zone. It's all about the defense at that point on whatever the first initial play call was, and we're running it. And if not, then there's not really an if not. You don't change the play. You work with what you've got, and you trust your head coach. You trust your head coach that first play, that you've got guys that can make the play. And so, clunky, it's the word in the chat. It's your word of the day, and I think it's accurate. I think it's accurate.
It's a good word.
Yeah, it is, because there's just too much going on. You can see that these guys are thinking through every little thing on every second, and maybe we just dial it back a little bit, right? Hey, Trevor. Just rein in the cans a little bit going in. And maybe it's just an on-the-road thing. Because we saw it was an issue against the Bengals. It was a little bit of an issue against the Texans. It was more the procedures and stuff. But that's not really on Trevor. And then on the road again against the 49ers, it was definitely a big thing. We're wasting timeouts, delay a game, all that stuff. I'll be very interested to see against the Chiefs. You're at home. Maybe we just shifted a little bit when we're on the road.
Yeah, and by the way, I thought I don't think the crowd was a factor. I thought the crowd was actually pretty light. And the Jags were in control a lot of the game, so I don't think the crowd was crazy. I think Cincinnati, the crowd was a factor, but I don't really think the crowd was. I think this is a lot just on them, knowing their stuff and getting to it. And listen, this is all pre-snap. I'm not even talking about Trevor throwing the football yet and everything else. There's stuff there too. But this is where I defend Trevor, and I'll continue to do it. If you can't trust guys so far this season to catch the football in spots or be in the right spot,
right?
It's not very easy to go out and play free in a new system that you're in as well while you're trying to figure out your own footwork, throw it a little bit better. How do you work on all that playing the toughest position in sports? So, is that okay? You're a $55 million guy. All right. But there's a lot going on that you could make it better. And by the way, this is stuff where like everybody else can line up. That's my point. Like we're not asking guys to go be Puka Nacua. We're asking guys to line up. Like line up the right way so the quarterback can get through whatever he needs to get through all pre-snap. And then, there'll be time to complain, and there's plenty to complain about after snap from the QB as well. But I'm just trying to put myself in that situation. And Hamby, you know this from our world, right? And I said this to somebody that was doing like the radio broadcast yesterday. Like, hey, if you're always wondering if the producer or somebody else, the camera person, the whatever, is going to have things correct, maybe they're do their job. Well, just because in our world now you get a lot of younger people, like not sure, whatever. Well, that gives you a little bit of doubt that they're going to get the job done. It doesn't mean you don't trust them to do it or don't like them or anything like that. It just gives you this little sense of doubt that, okay, I got to have a backup plan. Right. I got to have a backup plan if something doesn't go right. Well, how do you play free and easy, right? So I think there's something there. Now, I don't think he's making that excuse. I don't think they're making that excuse. I just think that's part of what's going on because I think that's a very human element. You don't have to be 6'6" and a $55 million quarterback to feel that in your line of work and our line of work and just kind of figure that could be going on. Now, again, there's another level of this where, hey, you got Parker Washington open, man. You got to hit that shot. Like, that's one of your shot chances. You didn't really take a lot of shots. Didn't really have a lot of shots against this defense. That's one of your shot chances, and he's running, like, wide open, and you're throwing it to a contested play to Johnny Munt. Like, that's who you're throwing it to. Like, so he's got a little bit of that as well that he's got to clean up. And I defended him last week outside of the one silly interception to Houston that I thought he threw it way better than anybody said he did. Mm-hmm. I thought he threw it a little bit worse in this game. I thought the inaccuracy stuff crept up more in this game than it did actually in the Houston game.
I agree.
And he got away with a couple of things. So it's something to monitor, whether it is footwork, whether it's just comfort. Is he playing as free as he can because he's worried about all this other stuff, or is he just not playing good, right? I mean, fair enough. But I don't think it's not good because he shows us it's in there. He's shown us each game like there's stuff in there. But how do you get more of it? And he even just said it, right? I mean, you got to be more consistent from that spot. You are going to have bad plays. I'll tell you this. I thought Purdy was – and this isn't a, hey, let's compare the guys that are playing average situation. I just thought Purdy was terrible, like the all day. Yeah. Like the guy – even when guys made plays, they're jumping like out of the sky to get it, right? So, I mean, he was awful. Now, he hadn't played in 2 weeks, but he was awful. Like Trevor, I don't look at Trevor and looked at Purdy yesterday, and I didn't see that. I saw a difference. And I still think he hung in the pocket on the one play and found Brenton Strange. Thought it was a nice play that nobody really notices, where he kind of started to get a little antsy.
But he set his feet again.
So I think, yeah. So I think, listen, he's got to clean some of it up, but they have to clean it up. This isn't just a Trevor thing. To me, this is an operational thing before you can then layer it all on Trevor Lawrence. And again, that's not a defense. He's got plenty too. They got to hit some of these shots, especially to get like a Travis Hunter involved. Man, when you get a shot to Travis Hunter, I think it just will juice this thing up even more. And we saw it with the one play. It was great to see him make that catch. We'll talk a little bit more about that. All right, that is your Monday morning quarterback report driven by your local Hyundai dealers. And the Jaguars are 3-1. So we hit like 45 minutes of really good stuff and a few minutes in there of not so good stuff as well in the first hour. What's the chat saying? Plus, we'll have more from the Furyk and Friends golf tournament here as it just continues to rain. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come all week. Temperatures are better, so we got that going for us here at Timuquana. And don't forget, a week from Monday, the Jaguars, Monday Night Football. I mean, come on, Jacksonville. Like we got to get this place rocking, right? On Monday Night Football, the team's 3-1. I think they're an exciting football team to watch. The Chiefs are in town. We got to see Teal in that stadium. And I'm not like a ticket pusher, but I'm starting to be a little bit of a ticket pusher here. That's what you wait for. That's what we've been waiting for. Primetime game, 3-1, and I think a big game that if the Jags could steal this one too, one that most people wouldn't give them on paper, Well, that could factor in down the road for a potential wild card depending on what goes on. The Jags are one of 6 teams with a winning record in the AFC right now. Actually, might be one of 5 teams with a winning record in the AFC. That's it. So you already start to think division and wild card and beating teams from the AFC could factor in down the road. Huge game coming up next Monday night. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Travon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, Honda has what you need.
The Honda Talon. Ultimate performance meets family-friendly fun. Prices starting at $363 a month. Or the sporty Honda CBR 650 starting at an affordable $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from a full line of Honda products. Only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville, off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Oh, how about the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp getting the big win on Saturday night to win the AAA National Championship, something that's kind of in its infancy in AAA. But the bigger one was Thursday night. I thought, oh, this was pretty big too. Brent Martineau back here at Timuquana Country Club, Constellation Furyk and Friends golf tournament. Jason Hamby back in the Action Sports Jax studios, and we're hiding from the rain a little bit, so shop might be a little bit darker than I would like right now, so bear with us. But, man, it's coming. Thought we get some sprinkles today. I guess I really didn't check the full forecast, but I thought it would be like some rain. Right now it's a lot of rain right here on the river at Timuquana. And, Hamby, did you catch that? Did you watch the Shrimp game? Or did you just kind of see the highlights? Because I actually tried to stay on Eastern time and not stay up like crazy late out there. And so I didn't, because then I got up really early Sunday, and then I knew we were getting back late this morning or last night or whatever. So I woke up to the fact I knew they had taken a lead, like 4-1, 5-1, something like that. And then I didn't see that ninth inning where the Shrimp actually lost the lead, and then Barry hits the home run to walk it off. I mean, what a season for the Shrimp.
Yeah, I missed it. Unfortunately, I saw all the highlights, and I was kind of eating it up Saturday morning. But Friday night, I was locked in on Florida State losing. I got to be honest.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's a cool – listen, I just said this to Rich Jones. We were on WOKV this morning. The wins and losses in minor league baseball, it doesn't affect a lot of people. But I think when you have a championship at this level, you kind of catch wind of it and the wave of it. And last week was cool in Jacksonville, and I thought this was cool, and I thought people really rallied around it. So it was fun. Good for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I think we'll give them a lot of momentum. I'm not sure they needed it, but I think we'll give them a lot of momentum. And if you're a Miami Marlins fan, good for the Miami Marlins, because it looks like they got good players down here in the system. It's been a heck of a year for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. So a big shout-out to those guys. Fun group. And I know we had fun over there on Thursday night, so glad they were able to get that done. That's tough sledding, too. You go to, you win it on Thursday night in Jacksonville. You got to fly out to Vegas probably like noon on Friday. You play Saturday a one-gamer. That's it. You don't get time to get settled into a series. And they were able to get it done. So I thought that was really
that game
cool
was Saturday?
For the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Yeah.
Oh, no wonder I missed it. I was locked in on Georgia losing, not Florida State then.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, a couple of quick things about the rest of sports this weekend, because I got a feeling I won't get to it if I stay on the Jags. Major League Baseball in the books. The Reds make it. The Mets don't. The Mets are, oh, boy, huh? I mean, I'm sure you're eating that. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's a great. It is great.
It's
so good.
I don't not like the Mets. My father-in-law, who's 91, is a huge Reds fan. And so I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, he got to see him get in, and he watches every game, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. Like, he'll go back and play it and watch it again. And they've got a fun team now. He's got time on his hands, man. They've got a fun team. And we were watching that game. I don't know, what was it, Thursday? I think it was Thursday or Friday. Thursday afternoon game where I think it was Marte made the heck of a catch in right field, saved their season, and then they go win a couple of games against the Brewers, but lose the one on Sunday, and then they got help from the Marlins because the Marlins beat the Mets 2 out of 3. We got the Yankees-Red Sox in round 1 of the AL playoffs, like pretty good stuff. I mean, I just think the baseball right now is really good. And it's not because the Red Sox are in it. I just think it's been a really good couple of weeks. I think the Raleigh, Judge stuff, obviously Ohtani, the Dodgers, the Phillies. I mean, you got really cool storylines. And one of the storylines, by the way, not just the Mets missing out, but also Houston misses out. on the postseason for, I think, the first time since 2016. So we got some new blood in there with Seattle. Toronto gets it done, and the Cubs are back in. So I'm looking forward to these playoffs, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them as well. As I've said, I kind of just got back into it, and just in time for the Mets to Met. So sorry, Glenn C. in the chat. Maybe cuff those ears for a few minutes, but to have your season come down to the Marlins, and all you've got to do is win one, and you can't do it. And not only that, but you get shut out. And the final game is just unbelievable and incredibly entertaining. Edwin Diaz is in the 5th inning, and it's just a disaster. And they have no plan for the back half of the game, even if they were to score a couple of runs. Bravo, Marlins. Jumbo Shrimp, I applaud you. Marlins, I applaud you even more. So I appreciate that. As far as the AL, yeah, I mean, the fact that the Guardians are AL Central champions is insane. That the Tigers blew it, that the Guardians, I mean, about as big of a roller coaster season as you could have. The Blue Jays, just going back to all of their expectations before the season started, and for them to be the AL East champions at this point is really fun. And then we get Red Sox Yankees to start off the playoffs. I mean, you can't really ask for more than that. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. So, hey, looking forward to it. Good baseball playoffs. All right, that's it. Just had to sneak that in on a football Monday here to at least mention a little bit about the playoffs. Back to the Jaguars, and we've been talking a little bit about, obviously a lot bit about their defense, about the exchange with Coen and Saleh, about the coaching in general that's elevated some of these guys like Devin Lloyd, about the clunky passing game, about the good running game. I think I keep glossing over it and mentioning it, so we give them their due a little bit. But the offensive line right now, I'm watching Daniel Griffiths tweet out a bunch of stuff. He writes for us on ActionSportsJacks.com. He has an article out today. In fact, I got to forward it, so we put that up on the website. But I mean, the offensive line play, first in sack percentage, Hamby, 2.0%. I mean, he's not getting sacked. 3 sacks in 4 games. And that's a little bit of the concern about some of the accuracy problems for Trevor right now, or maybe it's not like he's got people draped all over him.
Yeah, he's
got the time to throw the football in process. So overall, he is not being bothered much. Second in pressure percentage at 21.7%. Fourth in yards before contact. That's a stat that's interesting because over the years it has not been a good stat. We're asking for a little push from the guys up front. That was a 3rd and 1 yesterday. That didn't make. They're still not like 100% on the short yardage stuff, but they are pushing the pile. A lot of forward falling runs from Travis Etienne. And just to talk about that running game a little bit more, I still think it's kind of interesting that Travis Etienne has been so good that we've hardly seen Bashal Tutin. Now, Tutin has a big kickoff return. He's spelling Etienne from time to time, and when he gets in there, feels like he's really producing. But they are leaning on Travis Etienne right now with the 19 carries this week and most of the touches last week as well.
Yeah, and I saw, I mean, this stat is crazy, and I wish I had it in front of me. I saw it on Twitter earlier this morning, and I can't, unfortunately, say who it was from, but it said Travis Etienne has more yards before contact this year than he had all of last year. Through 4 games, he's got more. He's not getting touched before the line of scrimmage. How many plays can you count on your hand where either Etienne, any number of the Jags running backs are being hit behind the line of scrimmage? I believe LeQuint had one yesterday, but it's really rare. These guys are being able to take on defenders at +2 and 3 and get into space. When they were running outside yesterday, it seemed like it was a chunk play just about every time. And I applaud them for continuing to run the ball between the tackles to remain consistent, to keep pounding, all of that stuff. You don't want to rely on the outside run when you're a between the tackles type of team. The 49ers did a decent job at that yesterday, but the fact that he's got more runs before contact through 4 games than all of last year, like, that's more indicative of the line than it even is him. He's done a ton after that, through contact, running around guys. Got to give him a lot of credit, but the line is pushing guys up front. Yeah, and they deserve a ton of credit for sure.
They've been awesome, and you just mentioned that outside run stuff. That's where Brenton Strange and the receivers. There's a good block by Travis Hunter on one of the run plays. It wasn't like a crazy big run play, but it was a run play, and there's a really nice block by Hunter. So, like, these guys are next level, doing a really good job. And listen, I'm not a guy that usually notices a lot of that stuff. I think the attention to it has been on it so much that now you notice some of it. You notice some of these second-level things. And when you run for 48 yards, especially on outside play, it becomes a little bit more obvious. So Jags doing a great job. I think there are – now, I don't know if they can do that for 17 games, okay? I think they're doing a really good job right now. But the way they are protecting Trevor is phenomenal, which also means the passing game's got to get better. So they got to figure that out. I also think Tootin will become more of a compliment in here halfway through the year. So – the overall point of this is there's some elevation to this offense that I think will naturally exist based on time and just the calendar. You would hope, coming off a bye week, going into November, that this offense would be better than they are right now. Now, you hope next Monday night they're better than they are even right now. But I do think there's plenty of room for growth. All right, hey, I'm going to do a little camera work here to get Adam Renfro in. Hamby, one thing I want you to do, make sure you get some comments in the chat so we can talk to some folks who are talking to us. Adam, I'm going to have you squeeze in here.
Let's go.
If Hamby can take this 2-shot, we're just trying to survive from the rain. Look at this. What are we doing? What are we doing with the rain, Mike? I'll blame Burish.
This was your responsibility.
Yeah, sports guy only. So we're a little darker because I don't want to keep you out in the rain. So. How you doing, man?
I'm good. We're excited to kick off the week. I wish this rain would get out of here, but I think based on the forecast, this may be what we get for the week, and that's okay. Let it get here early and get out, but we're excited.
So I think I've seen the temperatures are nice all week. It's like low 80s, but chances of rain, kind of in and out. I don't think washout kind of stuff overall, though, do we?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think right now we're going to get the bulk of the impacts from the storm today, and then tomorrow and Wednesday look great. Thursday looks really good. And over the weekend, it could change a bit, but just scattered chances. I mean, what I tell people is it's golf and it's Florida, and this is kind of what's expected.
That's it. And by the way, it's kind of tropical season to begin with, right? And we're kind of been fortunate in that regard. Adam with us, he's what are you, officially tournament director?
Tournament director.
That sound good? Probably a lot of titles in there.
Take out the trash.
For the Constellation Furyk and friends here at Timuquana. And obviously there's events all week, and you can tell us about them. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the golf. And I keep telling people, and you know it because you've been around it, you've been running this thing. It's such a cool, intimate feel of watching some tournament golf with good players, names that you know, on a beautiful golf course where you're not going to get, inundated with crowds and everything else. It's a comfortable watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what Timuquana provides us is such a great venue to watch golf. A lot of golf, a lot of holes go side by side, so you can see a lot of golf from one spot. He was watching the Ryder Cup over the weekend, obviously, and you see them just packed in there, and they're having a hard time seeing all the shots. But here, it's much different. Timuquana's been a great host and a great view for all of our fans.
All right, so how do people get here over the weekend? And I'm sure there are tickets available still. There are different packages. That's another cool thing. You've got Club 58 packages. You've got different venues of suites and being able to overlook 5 or 6 different holes from certain vantage points. So there are different ticket levels that are cool experiences for people as well. And keep in mind, the beauty of the calendar this year, the Jags don't play until Monday.
Right.
So that Sunday should open up really a nice opportunity for people around here to go.
Absolutely. I think you said it best. Tee me up well. Friday through Sunday, we're open to the public. Ton of different ticketing options. I think first and foremost, we want our military community to be aware that we've got a ViStar Patriots outpost out here as complimentary access and food for military members and their families. So please take advantage of that. Those tickets are still available on our website. General admission tickets are available as well, $25 a day. It's really, not that much to come out here and see some of the best players that have ever played the PGA Tour. if you want an all-inclusive VIP experience with all-inclusive food and beverage, Club 58 is your spot. And then just call out, our community concert series that we launched this year on Friday and Saturday.
That's new.
Our play finishes on Friday and Saturday at 4 o'clock each day. We wanted to give fans an opportunity to stick around a little bit longer and hang out. So we're launching 2 concerts. Friday, we're having Low Cash join us right there on the 17th hole in Tailgate Village. Complimentary for everyone that's on site. And same thing on Saturday. We have Love and Theft joining us. So great weekend shaping up, and we'll just make sure that this weather gets out of here.
Yeah, and your concert stuff kicks off tomorrow night, too.
It does. We've got a show that we're doing for our tournament partners at Florida Theater, which we're really excited about. Riley Green, I know he just came through Jacksonville. He's going to come back and do another private show for us, which is tremendous. And then, we'll have music scattered throughout the weekend. I tease our team and Tabitha that we are basically a music event that just so happens to have golf because we do so much concerts, but it's a big part of what we do.
Yeah, I love that part, too. Really cool. Bunch of different events throughout the week. We're just teeing it off here with the Pro-Am today, and then the golf starts 54 holes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the last year here at Timuquana. So obviously going to go down the road. Great venue down at Hammock Beach, not far, easy to get to as well. But this has been a great host. And obviously, I always say one of the best golf courses we have, maybe in Florida, but definitely in Northeast Florida.
100%. I think they've got a lot to be proud of here at Timuquana. They've been a tremendous host for us over the 5-year term. It's hard to believe all the things that we've accomplished. If you look you probably can't see it from your camera angle.
Yeah, I've told everybody about it.
Yeah, so, we'll surpass the $5 million mark this year in charitable giving. And, we could not do that without Timuquana. They've been great partners. Jacksonville community has been great to us. And we just hope that our footprint will expand when we go to Hammock Beach and we can, keep our
All right. Well, I was thoroughly enjoying that, but it looks like some connection issues there. Brent over at Timuquana for Furyk and Friends. So let's go ahead and take a break. We appreciate everybody hopping in the chat with us. I know Glen Cease's Hammock Beach is awesome. We've got a ton of y'all's thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars, so we will get to that. We'll get to some sound from the locker room. That's also coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We'll be right back on the Brent Austen Show on the 24 Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jags Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Hey, we welcome you back here to the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Took a little power hit there at the end of that last segment, so hopefully we're back up and running. And thanks for hanging with us. Jaguars postgame show. You probably saw it yesterday. We had a ton of reaction from San Francisco. You can always go back and watch it on our YouTube channel. It's up there live along with our other social media channels. We'll also replay it on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network today and tomorrow. And you can find it at actionsportsjacks.com. We're out here at Timuquana Country Club. Rainy day here. I guess we took a little bit of a hit back at the station, so we didn't see that one coming. Thanks to Adam Renfro, tournament director here. I think we got all the good stuff in, so come on out to Furyk and Friends, Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament. Jim and Tabitha do a great job with this event, and I think you'll have a good time. Hopefully the weather clears for the rest of the week. The competition part doesn't heat up until Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but they have events going on the entire time, excluding today with the Pro-Am out here at Timuquana. Brent Martineau here, Jason Hamby back there, Austin Lane somewhere, I think, like flying back from Australia. So I think I don't even know if he'll be with us tomorrow. I can't really figure it out. I'm not sure what time he's landing, what time he's getting in. 12-hour time difference. We're on the West Coast, so we'll see Austin whenever we see Austin. That's probably the bottom line there. Casey Kurtz may join us here in just a little bit. I do think that is the plan, as well as we're running a little wild here on a Monday morning, coming back late from San Francisco and then out here to Timuquana as well. Jags Report live tonight, 7 o'clock on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, live on Fox 30 at String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach. Cam Little will join us. He's been scheduled to join us for that one, so we'll talk to Cam about the game in San Fran, about the start of the season, and it'll be interesting to ask him about how much that swirling wind really impacts the kicking game, punting and also kicking, because the warm-ups the last couple of weeks have had that swirling wind, and the warm-ups the last couple of weeks for the kickers has been just okay. So I think that's certainly a factor, more than you can see on TV or even kind of feel sometimes. But I could feel it yesterday when I was down there pregame in San Francisco. And I think I even saw you tweet about this, and I was a little surprised everybody got a little excited about the Jags not kicking a 58-yard field goal early in the game. Mm-hmm. And I didn't expect them to kick that one. Now, I know there are times where you're going to be like, hey, why not go get 3 points? You got this guy who it just feels like he's not going to miss. Well, specifically that side of the stadium, which is where I saw Cam warming up, it was swirling and hit or miss. And that's where he ended up missing the 47-yarder from, going that way as well. So I didn't think they were ever going to kick that 58-yarder, Hamby. I know he's got the leg. That's not the thing. And I know when people say wind, well, it's like you're kicking into the wind or you're going with the wind. That wasn't it either. It's more the swirling wind, and you didn't want to give up that field position, especially the way your defense has been playing. So I got that one. And I know that's kind of probably hard for everybody watching on TV to understand, but it made total sense to me that they didn't kick that 58-yarder.
Yeah, I definitely didn't pick that up. To that point, when they're making the decision to punt, at that time I wasn't just was unaware of all that wind. So I thought it was kind of like I figured there might be something, but to me it was like, hey, I mean, I get it, maybe 58 you don't want to try, but what about like 52? And why didn't we see something a little bit different on the play call on third down then, if we were like pseudo field goal range but not quite comfortable with it? If we wanted to get to a 51 or 52-yarder, that's what was always going through my mind. Then maybe you find something underneath on third down instead of the deep out to Brian Thomas Jr. that didn't quite get executed. But it seems like Cam Little's had to work with a lot of wind over the last at least couple of weeks, and he's showed that he's human once or twice. And I don't think – I'm glad – my takeaway from that is I'm glad that I don't think I've seen really anybody freaking out that he's missed 2 kicks, 1 in each of the last weeks. So I'm glad to see that, and I think a lot of that hopefully is because people are seeing the kickers across the National Football League. They've been pretty poor. Like, obviously, McLaughlin's hitting 65-yarders. He's scoring me 20 points in fantasy. They're kicking them longer. There have been a lot of misses. The Falcons don't have a kicker. There are a lot of teams that you have no idea, and I'm just glad that I think the Jacksonville fan base is understanding of that and giving Cam a little break for missing one a little wide right because of the wind.
All right, Hamby, I think you're doing a great job. I can't hear a word you're saying, but I'm sure it was a great take the entire time. So I don't know if the power stuff knocked you from hearing me or if it's on my end, but great job. Cam Little, by the way, on Jags Report Live tonight on Fox 30. We're putting out some of this stuff. I do want to get to the chat in just a moment, too, and see what some of the folks are saying. It seems like everybody can hear me just fine, so that's good. Or bad. I want to get back also to the whole exchange between Saleh. We hit that at the top of the show, obviously, but I definitely want to get back to that whole exchange, and it's become obviously the story of last night into today, and I'm sure everybody else is talking about it all over the country. The other thing about that exchange is how I want to get Hamby's thoughts on old Ari taking it, but he gave us credit this time. Now, some people won't give us credit, but some will, though I think everybody did a pretty good job overall. Although I did say, just catch this one, Hamby, Sports Illustrated did cover up our logo. They did not want to see our logo.
Unbelievable.
So we can digest all that in a moment. But before we do that, let me get to a little bit of the chat and see what we got. Daniel says, I don't know what he's talking about there. So Ron says, problems with the offense is highlighted in illegal shifts and delay of game penalties. If you know what you're doing, you don't have those problems. Yeah, I think that's true. The question is, Like, I had an example of something given to me where they practiced a play the whole week, and they still kind of messed it up. But that wasn't evident in the week in practice. So, I mean, that's more just you got to lock in, right? You got to focus. You got to stay on your details. I don't really know how coaches they can't play for them. So, the lining up stuff, you've got to be able to have false starts. They're on the road. Maybe you miss a count. Like, some of it's going to happen. That's the other thing. It's not going to be perfect and clean. We get that. YB400, I love the problems for the Jags this season. Instead of not getting a yard when we need it, or a defense that can't stop nobody or turn the ball over. Yeah, I think there are different issues, it feels like. But there are also wins while you're dealing with the issues. Right now, I don't really feel like the defense has a lot of issues at all, other than maybe now a couple of injuries. So that's not it. But the offense obviously has some passing issues and some penalty issues. And but they're doing it, be able to hide the offensive line play as really good, and also the run game really good too. Mental error is the biggest issue for the offense. Yeah, no doubt about it. Third and fourth one, the coach has to call timeout before the flag. Yeah, actually, that's a good call, Daniel. I don't know why they didn't call timeout there before that delay of game. Now, I think they ended up getting that one, but they had to call a timeout again. Again, that's the late huddle stuff, and it was late in the first half, so they had timeouts. It wasn't like it was a second half situation. That, I thought, was a miss. So, I'm not telling you Liam's been perfect. I think there are some things, and they would probably admit to that. And I think everybody's got a part in it. I think the coaching staff has a part in it. The quarterback has a part in it. I think everybody on that offense has a part in it. I think it's been different people at times too. So, yeah, that was a good call. And, again, some of these things they hide because of a Jags win, and that's actually pretty good, right? You kind of like that. They do. They got to stop getting in third and long too. Well, they're getting in third and long because of the penalties. They had a couple holding penalties that pulled them back. Did you see it's funny to think, I don't know why I had so much on my timeline in San Francisco, probably because of the Saleh stuff, but I got a lot of San Francisco commentary, and the way they were complaining, it sounded like the way we would maybe complain here in Jacksonville from time to time about not getting a break. And there were 3 instances that they thought in San Francisco like they should have had it better. And I'm not sure I totally disagree with him. The third, before the Travis Hunter play, it's 3rd and 17, or no, 2nd and 17 or 3rd and 12. Well, apparently Shanahan did not decline the penalty, but the officials counted the penalty. And then there was a timeout, but they couldn't change the play once they had done that. So they were stuck with it. Now, what happened actually was a little bit more advantageous for San Francisco anyway, because they got like a 2-yard gain, the Jags did, out of their own end zone. And so it was 3rd and 15 before Travis Hunter makes the play. Now, Travis Hunter's play was a terrific catch. I also think there probably wasn't enough evidence to wonder if it was really a catch. Although the evidence that I saw, I thought he really did a great job of getting his hand underneath the football to make that all happen. So that was, again, break, maybe, took advantage of something. I mean, San Francisco was complaining about that, but they still gave up 3rd and 15. The other one is the pick by Upton Stout. And that one, to me, I think the Jags really got a break. I didn't think there was a PI. That negated a turnover and a run back down inside the 20-yard line. That's a huge play in the game. The other one that San Francisco is complaining about, and I don't think they're right on this one, that was the punt return. It was, you were wondering if they were going to throw the block in the back, and they didn't. But I don't think they should have, because if you look, whoever the guy was that was maybe had got blocked in the back, I think Braswell was the guy in that situation that gave him the block. He turns to go get Parker Washington. He starts to turn. And so that was from the side. I think in real time it felt like, the official could throw that. But I don't think it was. I think he turned. So I thought it was pretty interesting, at least in those specific instances, and maybe a couple of balls that now have bounced the right way for the Jags, that there's a bit of good luck, fortuitous bounces, fortuitous calls. That also is on the heels of a bad call against the Cincinnati Bengals that cost them the football game, quite frankly. It could be 4-0. But I guess my point in all that is it's nice to get some, or at least be on the right side of questionable things. And they also even out along the way. I'm not mad the Jags aren't 4-0. I think the Jags should feel pretty good about being 3-1, the way the NFL works. Should they have beaten Cincinnati? Probably. Could they have lost to Houston, and could they have lost to San Francisco? Yeah. So I think 3-1 is a good spot to be in. I think you're getting greedy if you really think, 4-0 should be it. All right? Now, it would be awesome. And it could be. But I think 3-1 is a pretty nice place for the Jags to be. And I think it's okay to also acknowledge that the Jags, who don't get a lot of breaks often, it doesn't feel like it. They don't play themselves into breaks. I think right now are playing themselves into some pretty good opportunities for the ball to bounce their way. Go to last week with that Devin Lloyd fumble recovery against Houston, huge spot. Ball bounces right up to him in traffic. And then also a couple of the calls. Maybe not a camera review to negate that 3rd and 15, Travis Hunter, even though, again, it might have been a catch. I'm just saying we can't tell fully because the way he positioned his body, maybe the amount of cameras, and the Jags would have been way backed up on 4th down punting, and that probably could have turned into points for San Francisco. If not, the Jags instead go march down the field and score. Huge difference in the game. Obviously, the interception, I think, was a bad call by the officials. Shouldn't have been PI. Wasn't a great throw. Heck of a play. And so they get away with it. It's okay to note that from time to time, too, that the Jags, at least in the current moment, are getting away with a few things, or at least getting the ball to bounce their way, and maybe some of the calls to help them to 3-1. And that's what happens. I think that's sports. I think there is, that's just what happens when you have good seasons. The ball does bounce your way. So maybe this is the way it's going to go for the Jacksonville Jaguars throughout this 2025 year, where they're going to make up for some of the bad things over the years that have happened. So anyway, I think it's all good stuff from that standpoint right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot to dissect, a lot to like, and 3-1 is a really good spot. Now you start to wonder, can they beat the Chiefs? Like, can the Jags, Monday Night Football, beat the Chiefs? Do you feel good about that? What about Seattle coming in the next week? What about the Rams in London? You technically have 3 home games in a row. You're 2-0 at home right now, and I know one of those games is in London. What are you happy with, knowing what you know about the Jaguars? We would have been supremely happy with a 4-3 start. Are you now greedy? Or now just, hey, you got to take advantage of this, and they need to be 5-2 after 7 games. Because guess what other break the Jags got yesterday? The Indianapolis Colts wasted that game late. They could have been 4-0, and now they're 3-1. So what are you happy with the Jacksonville Jaguars over the next few games? Let's get into that a little bit more. Take a timeout and stay on time. We got a big 12 o'clock hour to come still. I want to get some more of your comments if you get them in. And, man, it's fun in Jacksonville right now. 3-1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars on a Monday here on the Brent Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. We'll take you until 1 o'clock here on the show, and looking forward to a good day out here at Timuquana Country Club as well. We got our Republic Services Recycling headlines, top of the hour as well. That's where this guy's from, this guy right there. We will have those. We've got still more to come. Hey, what about college football? And a bounce back for Brian Thomas Jr. That was important to see. Wasn't huge, but it was better. And then also a little controversy in our weekend wagers. We'll get to it all here on a Monday on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with an inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons
17,
in the entire
but I probably...
No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
Thanks for meeting me here.
You okay?
You're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion.
Okay.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
That's all I paid for it. Do you know what you want?
Yeah. I think I do.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or get $1,750 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
All right, welcome back to the Brent Austen Show. Next Monday night, the big one. The city comes to town to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, 3-1. Kansas City finally got a win. Patrick Mahomes looked like himself against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson got hurt, but it still looked like Patrick Mahomes, took control over the game. We're having some issues with one Brent Martineau. Casey, thankfully, just got to the studio. Case, how we doing, sir?
We're chilling, dog. We're chilling. Not bad. It was raining, now it's not. I had Dunkin' Donuts. Feel good.
Baby.
Ready to roll.
What'd you get?
Oh, bro, they got these new so they're like these wraps. They got egg, bacon, they got hash brown in the wrap, and then there's like chipotle aioli sauce.
Chipotle aioli sauce.
Are you familiar? You say it like you've never heard of it.
No, I've
which concerns me a little bit. It's gas. Like it feels like it wouldn't work, but it does work.
Oh.
So yeah, and then went with the iced coffee. Are you a coffee guy?
No.
It's free today. Today's National Coffee Day. I'm dead serious.
Today is.
Yeah, if you go to Dunkin' and buy anything, like you could buy one donut hole for like, I don't know, whatever it costs you, or just a whole donut. You don't have to get just a whole. You could get the whole donut for like $1, and then you get the free coffee. So, just trying to spread awareness.
Hey, baby.
They didn't pay for that, but
yeah.
What can you do there?
You're helping them out.
Yeah, I do what I can.
You do what you can.
Once again, the third or fourth person that doesn't need me to stand in the gap for them is Dunkin' Donuts. They're doing well without me.
That's true.
But hey,
they are doing well without you.
There we go, Brent, baby.
Hello, Brent.
Hi,
there?
guys. How are we doing? Yeah, I'm here. It's been a battle this morning.
Yeah, maybe you should just quit and go play golf.
Thinking about it. Looks like everybody else is getting ready for it out here, so I'm definitely thinking about it.
Nice.
How we doing?
We're good, bro. We're mad chilling.
Jags are 3-1.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what everybody be talking about. Well, everybody be talking about the coach yelling at the other coach, but outside of that, everybody be talking about the Jags being 3-1. So they're good.
Yeah, that's 3-1's good. So here's the question I did before going into the break.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to be after 3 of them? The next 3.
Oh, they'll be. Let's see. What's that math? 4, 5, and 2. Is that the right math?
Oh, they're gonna win 2 out of the next 3. You think? Which ones do they get?
Couldn't tell you, but 2 of them.
Fair enough.
Oh.
I think. I don't know, man. I think you feel like that Seattle game. Seattle's pretty good, though. And obviously Kansas City seems like they're playing a lot better. Jags really pick it up on their offense to beat Kansas City, I think, because their defense usually is pretty good. And then I think the Rams one in London feels hard to me. Like, feels hardest maybe of the 3. You think I got that kind of accurate just because of the knowledge of systems and everything else? It feels like LA has such an advantage there because I know they here in Jacksonville know LA very well, but I mean, that's the architect, man. I mean, usually the mentor wins the matchup, you know?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I would say of the 3, the toughest, even with still, I would say Kansas City, and especially what they did yesterday. I don't think that I would ever say that anybody else would be tougher than them, knowing what they are. So I would say Kansas City is still the tough one. And the thing with the Rams that I think is a little bit interesting right now is like, and easier said than done, but if you can figure out a way to stop Puka Nacua, you probably beat the Rams. Like, they're not doing a whole lot else on offense, right? They have backs, and they've been using Corum, and, like, they're doing that a little bit. But, like, what was Nacua yesterday? Like, 12 for 180? And
went
like,
off.
I goes 14 for 170 something, I think it was.
Yeah, like, if you can just not let that happen, I mean, they're not the most explosive team to ever play offense. So, I get what you're saying coaching-wise, but I would say Kansas City's still probably the tougher one.
Hamby, Chiefs, Seattle, and then obviously the Rams. And this is a football team that we said, can you be 3-4 going into the bye? Right now, 4-3 looks like, gosh, it almost better happen. And if they're 5-2, what I've said before is like you start bringing potential for like 11 wins into the equation based on the back half of their schedule and the way they're obviously playing football to be 5-2. So, I mean, it could really start escalating if the Jags can get 2 out of these next 3. I know somebody, I think they might have been joking, saying 6-1. I don't anticipate them being 6-1 at the bye week, but could they win 2 out of the next 3? That's plausible.
Yeah, I mean, because then you get the Raiders, then you get the Texans again, then you really get to a stretch in those 2 games in early November where, 6-2, you get to a 7th win, before you really get to the stretch where you're playing a lot of the Chargers, Cardinals, and all that stuff. I think the Seahawks are sneaky. They take me as a team that could very well give you a really tough game, even at home. I know they, and I'm trying to look at the offenses where kind of throw out the first week or two. And the Seahawks, to me, are one of those teams where it's a new system. Obviously, Darnold is brand new there. Kupp is a big part of their team, although he hasn't done a ton. He's still their second receiver. He's new. So you try to, just like the Jags, from a national perspective, you want to give them, the first couple of weeks to kind of settle in on offense, which I think is what the Jaguars own fan base kind of forgets. You got to give them time to settle in. I think across the board, when you have a new quarterback, much more obviously a new head coach who's calling plays and as many new players as the Jaguars have on offense, but even just a new quarterback like the Seahawks have, you're going to give it a few weeks. And, this being their sixth game when they come to town in October, you think they're fully up to speed and hitting all cylinders by that point. And JSN's been one of the best players in the National Football League so far this year.
He has.
So you could see some trouble there as long as they can figure out what to do with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet.
That's the thing there, real quick, Brent, before you jump back in. The one thing about their offense that's super intriguing for me looking at it anyway is if obviously we'll see what happens with Travon Walker, but if the Jags are healthy, right, you like their pass rush, you like what they can do. Seattle takes that totally out of play because Darnold gets rid of it immediately. Like JSN's getting the ball 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage and then just making people miss. They get it out to both of their backs. They run it well. So, I think the scary thing with Seattle's offense is they can hit the big play, but their whole goal is for Darnold not to have the football for longer than a half second. He diagnoses, he goes, and if that takes the Jags pass rush out, then you say, can they cover, guys like JSN, can they cover the backside of the backfield if Cooper Kupp decides to show up? Then I think that gets a little more dicey.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think who knows where Travon is in that stretch.
Right.
I believe when I go back to what I said on Friday, I brought it up again this morning, and there's a physical toll as you're trying to build this identity in the NFL where, this compilation of games does add up. I was afraid of that yesterday. I thought it would add up. Heck, the Jags might have played their most physical football game yet in that game against San Francisco and brought it to them. So they're 4 for 4, in my opinion, being the more physical team at the start of this year. I think the Chiefs don't get credit for being as physical as they are, specifically on the defensive side of the ball toward an offense. And so I think this is going to be another physical game. Luckily, you get another day to kind of recover from everything. But the Jags are more beat up than they even thought they were going into last week because of all the injuries that just transpired in California. Then, on top of that, you've got Seattle, to your point, that's going to play a physical brand of football. And then the Rams can do the same thing to you the next week. So this is just week after week after week. Can you bring it? Does your body get too beat up? And in the meantime, you're traveling out to California for one. You're traveling to London for another. Is that going to travel every single time? And when's the compilation of all of it take a toll on these guys' bodies? And I'm not saying that you lay an egg, but can you bring it the way you want to bring it? And I was actually even talking to Liam Coen about that a little bit. I'm concerned about that. I can only imagine if he's a little bit concerned about that. I thought that could be a thing that could be problematic for the Jags. So keep an eye on that part, something that's hard to see. But right now, the Jags are just playing a really physical brand of football. And can they do it week in, week out? I think even if you go to the Steelers and the Ravens and teams like that over the years, I think there are times where they don't play their most physical brand of football in the course of a season. Because, quite frankly, it's pretty hard to do. And I think Coach Rip brings it up. I mean, the Jags are home now for the next few weeks. You get these home games right in a row before you go to London. So that part at least is good. I mean, you've got to get one of these next two at home because I feel like the winning at home is such an important part of the formula.
Yeah, I agree. And to a comment a second ago, Seattle, that game being at 1 hurts Seattle, right? Or 1 Eastern, which is what, 10 for them? Oh, 1, yeah. So I think that's going to hurt them. They probably come out the day early, right? Because the game being at 1, I know we don't know that. We're just kind of talking about it. But that is a disadvantage for them as well. And I think going back to the physical part that you're talking about, you say Kansas City is sneaky physical. Look what they did yesterday. Like, they might not be sneaky physical. They're physical on defense, right?
Physical.
Offense is questionable. Their offensive line has been questionable at times this year. And I think for the Jags, it's an unlucky spot on the schedule, and it always was kind of unlucky because you knew you were coming off San Francisco since May, but a little bit unlucky with the injuries or at least getting banged up yesterday. And then a Kansas City team that looks like they're firing on all cylinders after yesterday. Worthy's going to be back. So they're playing their best ball of the season. It's only 4 or 5 weeks in at this point, but they looked really good yesterday. Jags looked great on defense, not on offense. You got guys banged up. And then I think that's going to go back to Liam Coen, back to the coaching staff, and just having them, I guess, amped up as high as they possibly can to come defend home turf against Kansas City, because Kansas City's probably going to be in a better health, comfortability standpoint than the Jags.
Yeah, they might be. Hey, let's do this. I want to stay on time with the show today. Sneak in one more break. When we come back, I want to do recycled headlines, and I want to get back to the exchange. I want to get your thoughts on the Liam Coen exchange with Robert Saleh. We'll show you that. We also got reaction, and haven't heard from any of that yet today, so we'll do that. We're live from Furyk and Friends at Tim Aquana, and it's a Monday on the Brent Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
Thanks for meeting me here.
You okay?
You're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion.
Okay.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
That's all I paid for it. Do you know what you want?
Yeah. I think I do.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or get $1,750 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant, or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Saleh, we're exchanging words. I mean, are you surprised that, I assume over sign stealing, are you surprised that Coen maybe wasn't thrilled about that?
No, try to clear it up, but I didn't see what happened, so I'm not sure. Don't think you should be that sensitive about it, but it is what it is. Not too worried about it.
After game.
How about that? I don't think you should be that sensitive about it. That's Kyle Shanahan, and I mean, this thing's kind of fun. What's crazy about this whole deal with the 49ers and the Jags is they don't play each other a lot. So it's like by the next time, I mean, who knows in this NFL? Shanahan, Coen even coaching these teams. Saleh, is he definitely coaching Sanford? Like, what does this look like in another 4 years? But I think it's pretty wild. I also thought it was pretty interesting that I think ETN and I think it was Brenton Strange brought up getting hammered by the Niners 34-3 a couple years ago. Like that they really remembered that game. And I was like, I felt that was just a game on the Jags. Like, was that 23, 22? 22 during their run, right? That was during their good run?
Yeah.
That season. So I just felt like, whatever, it was a bad game. But they actually remembered that one. Well, people are going to remember this exchange and this whole few days, Liam Coen, Robert Saleh, Shanahan. And I just feel like it's pretty interesting. Shanahan has said what he said Friday about the whole situation. And now after the game saying Liam Coen was real sensitive about it. Keep in mind, the Shanahan, McVay, Coen, all this tree kind of comes from the same spot.
Oh, that was 2023.
It was 23. Okay, that was after they had won a bunch of games, and that was part of the demise.
Yep.
So, but these guys come from a similar tree. There's a lot of respect there. And, well, right now there's a lot of hostility there as well. I get protecting your own guys, but taking shots, continuing to take shots, certainly not the high road necessarily from Kyle Shanahan. But, hey, it's good theater, isn't it? It's been fun stuff. And right now the whole NFL is talking about it. Casey, I think you heard us talking a little bit earlier as we started the show. I think this is a great thing for Liam Coen and Jacksonville. And I really just hope today at 4 o'clock when he talks to the media, he doesn't apologize for it. And I might have told him that. I said, don't apologize for it. This is good stuff here in Jack. This place needs this stuff. They need a little bit of swagger. They need that juice that everybody's been talking about. They need some attitude. They're playing with attitude right now. Usually get that attitude on the defensive side of the ball. That's what they're playing like. Offense needs to get a little more swagger going, but the coach is breeding a lot of this, and it's trickling down through the locker room, through the walls of the building. And, man, I wouldn't apologize for it today. I know PR moves are like, we shouldn't be doing this, but screw that, man. Embrace it. Go all in.
Yeah, I would double down.
Yeah, you know Casey, what he's going to say.
Yeah, I would actually make it worse, potentially. I would go back at Shanahan. I would call him soft. I would say all kinds of things. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a bit hilarious that, like, Kyle Shanahan is telling people not to be – or telling Liam Coen not to be sensitive. Like, okay. But 2 questions later, probably, somebody asked about the debacle that he took a bad timeout and then challenged a clear catch from Travis Hunter. And then I bet his response would have been a bit defensive. And then you could say he's getting a little sensitive. So – just an absolute debacle from the 49ers point. Like, you can't accuse somebody of legally or illegally cheating and then lose to them. Like, you just can't do it, right? If you're going to pull an Astros on them, you got to prove they're bagging the trash can. Like, and you didn't do that either. So I feel like the 49ers as an organization should be embarrassed. And if I was the Jags, I would, like, never let it go. Like, if I was Liam Coen, I'd keep going for, like, 8 weeks. Just randomly out of the blue. They'd be like, hey, how do you like your football team? He'd be like, I don't know, but Kyle Shanahan's soft as hell. Get him. We're going to set up some toilet paper because bro is Charmin. Like, that's what I would say.
Keep my name out of your mouth.
There you go.
Hey, that's actually a really good question. Like, should anybody be embarrassed by any of this? How do you think, like, the NFL views it? And, I mean, I'm not sure I go as far as saying, like, the Niners should be embarrassed. But I firmly don't believe the Jags should be embarrassed by this. That's the thing. Like,
well, Brent, this is an easy question. If Saleh should be embarrassed for having the worst, like, comeback game of all time, like, I'll bleep up your world. Like, bro, what are you even saying? Like, you hit in the moment and that's what you came with? True. Like, bro, let's go.
Well, a lot of people are saying Coen, like the negative folks on the Coen front are like, well, he didn't turn around and say anything until he walked by him. And what people miss at the beginning, can we show the exchange that we got? Because what people miss is the fact that really this starts a little bit with Coen shunning a potential handshake from Saleh. I don't know if you guys see that part, but it's right at the beginning where he kind of just like, they'll do one of these, just walks right by. And then I don't know what is said. It's hard to figure out what's said until Coen then starts saying, keep your name out of my mouth, or keep my name out of your mouth. And then Saleh comes back with what he said. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. How about what's going on here? See that early part?
Yeah.
Where he kind of shuns him right there. And then I don't know how he turned back around. But a lot of folks are saying, well, he waited until he had cleared him to say anything to him. But I think he was egged on by something there. I think Saleh might have said something initially to get Coen to turn around. I just don't think we can make that part of it. And, this is Marcel Robinson's Mr. 5 Million by Monday video. Casey Kurtz.
That's good stuff. Here's the thing. To go back to your original question, you got to be embarrassed if you're San Francisco because you lost. Like, you said, you talked your talk, which if I was in San Francisco, I'd be like, yeah, call him out. I like it. You can't lose. You can't lose the game. You lost all of your aura points. And if you're Robert Saleh, by the way, part of you got to be like, my defense did okay. Like, we didn't give up a lot of points. Sure, we didn't take it from them, but like, or we did, and they got hosed on that PI call. But like, I'm embarrassed if I'm San Francisco today. And on the real though, with Coen, I respect the whole thing he did. I'm a big fan of him now because of it. He does not want to get in a fight with Robert Saleh. All respect to Liam Coen, but if they got in a fist fight, Robert Saleh's got to be top 5 coaches in the league you're not trying to fight in real life, because I feel like he would really do something.
I would say more often than not, the head coach doesn't want to fight a defensive guy anyway.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, and probably that and not fight an offensive line coach. Maybe except Dan Campbell. But
I just find it funny that so many people are, out there. They're not Jags fans. They're like, man, this is a bad look for Coen. He waited. He's kind of, I guess, I've seen the word soft a couple of times. Like, bro, frat star guy, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to just walk up right up to Saleh and just stick him? Like,
that's true.
That's their expectation. So that's like the border of like what's like, yeah, like, Coen, I'm getting behind him as a whoever NFL fan, name your team, versus like he was soft for that. That's the line. Like he just didn't walk up and just stick the guy in the face. because let me tell you, the line should be whether you did anything or not, and he did. Most NFL coaches are walking right by, shaking the guy's hand, patting him on the shoulder, telling him how good of a or a defensive coordinator he is, how much fun it was to compete, and that's it. They're protecting the shield. You got to protect the shield, Brent. We just got to play it nice, move on, exchange cordialities, and hit our own locker room. Nah, he was pissed. He did something about it, and that's it. If the line is he didn't stick him, then sorry, frat star, you're not gonna be happy with anything that ever happens post game after any kind of a beef. So you might as well just chill on Twitter and take it to another sport where maybe you're gonna get that.
Listen, I love that we love it. I love that Jacksonville loves it. I think this is a great storyline on top of a 3-1 start. I mean, it couldn't really be any better. But the biggest thing about this whole deal, in my opinion, is the locker room loved it. And by the way, the locker room didn't know about it. So most of them. Now, there were a couple of players there, but the players are coming off the field. And I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't really know about it right away because we got stuck in the elevator, first of all. But we come down about 2.5, 3 minutes to go in the game. So we miss the final couple of minutes unless there's like a TV in the elevator, which there was. But I think I was already off by the time the handshake stuff happened. And so we're kind of hustling down to get postgame. We're in the tunnel. We really can't see a lot at that time. And the players are coming off that time. You know, you see the video I post. That's what they're doing. They shake hands, get out of there. So there were only a few players in that vicinity that actually knew what was going on. And so when we're asking them about them postgame, they're kind of like, what are you talking about? What are you like? But, you know, then we phrased it to them just, hey, you know, it was a little thing. And what do you like that? And they loved it. They loved the edge, I think, that Coen is bringing to this football team in this locker room. And again, what we said at the top of the show, a lot of this stuff is genuine. I think it's all genuine. I don't think it's calculated. I think they feel that, they see that, and they're like, hey, man, this is who this guy is. From the Trevor thing, you know, a couple of weeks ago to all the swearing in the postgame victory locker rooms, just to the way he carries himself. It's all. There's no acting here. And in the NFL, there's a lot of BS sometimes. So I keep telling these guys that when I talk to them, there's so much nonsense and BS in the NFL that is unnecessary. And I really feel one of the best things that this regime has done is they have got cut through all that. They have cut through a lot of that, at the very least, that exists around the NFL buildings. And I think you're seeing like a real authentic leadership group right now here in Jacksonville. And what we wonder is, okay, you lose 3 games in a row. What's that going to look like, right? How's that going to be? Well, fortunately, right now, they haven't had to do that. Speaking of the locker room, do you have Hainsey, Hamby?
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought he was the best. He was right in the middle of it, obviously, right? Walker Little was right there, too. And Hainsey is a Liam Coen guy. And I think Hainsey also is playing his butt off. He's playing terrific. What a signing that has been for James Gladstone, Tony Vaselli, and Liam Coen. And I got to believe it came on the, on the Liam Coen side of this whole thing in the acquisition part because he had familiarity in Tampa. Well, here's Hainsey after the game about the post game in general, but also about the Coen situation.
Just did.
I mean, it's every time you win a game in the NFL, it's awesome. It's got to be celebrated. It's got to be coached afterwards, and we got so many things to clean up, but we're going to enjoy this one for sure because we were out there battling all phases.
You guys are playing a lot of physical games the last few weeks. I mean, that takes its toll. But do you think you brought it again that way?
Yeah, I think that's just, we've coming in with this new group, new people, everything that was new here. It was a main point of emphasis that we're going to play violent, we're going to play physical. And when you do that, you have to play that way. You have to play every game that way. You have to play every snap that way. And so it does take a toll, and you feel it after, but games like this, it's worth it every time.
Did you anticipate there being something after the game, or you were in the right place, right time around Coach Coen?
Right place, right time, just to have my guys back. I love Coach. I love Liam. He's fiery, he's emotional, and he cares a lot. So I'm glad I'm always gonna have his back no matter what. Like whatever he needs, we'll all be there for him.
How much are you guys feeding, or do you feel this team feeding off some of that edge that he has, where he's not afraid of that kind of stuff.
For sure, I think your head coach being that guy, and like we hear it all week, and just the way he talks to us, and the way he talks about the game, his knowledge of the game, his attachment to this emotionally. Like I said, he cares immensely, and it's hard for a team to not feed off that and to not. Liam's a coach where you want to go play for him, and like personally, like I want to go win for him, and that's a great trait to have as a coach. And I think the way he carries himself and the way he coaches us, he earns that every week.
Let me ask you one more. This defense is playing out of its mind right now with the turnovers. What's that like watching that each week so far? Each time they go out, it almost feels like they're going to get another one.
Honestly, like I cannot say enough good things about our defense. Camp and the whole group, I mean, they're unfreaking believable, and the way they've been playing is at a incredibly high standard. They've set that standard, and they're going to continue to get better and try to. They're going to try to get more. They're going to try to get them every week. And as an offense, that's fantastic. And we got to keep capitalize more, take some off their plate as we continue to grow and get better.
Thanks, man.
The thing I like about Hainsey, guys, not only obviously that's the stuff on Liam Coen, and that's I think pretty cool too. But I think that last soundbite is like, hey, we're going to get better, and he knows there's obviously a lot more in this offense. And I think there's a patience to it with a guy like that who's not a young guy in the league. Like, he's been around it. He probably saw that it developed last year in Tampa as well. And I think there's better days ahead for the offense, I guess is what I'm getting at, guys. Like Casey, like I think there's a lot to get better at, first of all, but I think he is measured in it. His first 4 games of this whole new system and everything else. And I can say that, and I guess we can get away with saying that and be patient with it because they're 3-1 right now. But I do think this offense is going to, I mean, at least get better. I don't know if they're going to be great, but I think they're going to get better in the passing game. It's been so clunky at times that I'm not saying it can't be worse because we've seen worse passing games, but it's got to get better than this. And I feel like Hainsey kind of indicated that, like, hey, don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a guy that knows what it's supposed to look like in terms of a Liam Coen offense. And I mean, you can say clunky. I'm going to say bad. Their passing offense, in my opinion, has been terrible. And that's on a lot of things, right? They're half the time when it's a good throw, it's not getting caught, and half the time it's not a great throw, right? But they can certainly run the football, and the offensive line has done that part, and you can see that they have a good plan. Liam Coen has a good plan, good scheme, all of that. They just got to execute a little bit better. And again, when you're winning, it's a concern, but you're not waving, hitting panic buttons right now because you're 3-1 and you think there's a realistic chance you can beat the Chiefs here this week. But overall, to me, the fascinating thing about Hainsey is, I said this in the offseason, and I think we all kind of shared just brought in a guy that you benched to be your starting center. There's a little bit of a question there. And this guy's been good, but that's not even the part of it. I was wrong on that so far. 4 weeks in, he's been good for them. But the part that's kind of fascinating to me is you get benched in Tampa, and I get that may not have been Liam Coen saying you need to sit. That might have been Todd Bowles, right, because that was the head coach at the time. But this is a guy who then Liam brings back and he's standing in the gap for his coach, right? Like, I love him. That's my guy. And that could have been the guy that benched you a year ago. So I think there's a little bit of an interesting thing there where that guy didn't give up on me if you're Hainsey, and Hainsey didn't give up on Coen, and now it looks like it's working. And I think that's a cool – I'm not sure what the story is there to tell at this point, but I do think it's fascinating because I know me, just being me, if I'd have got benched, I'd have been MFing the guy up and down. But this guy's like here fighting for him a year later. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's a good. It's actually. I didn't think about it in the big picture of that he's actually the guy right there in that spot, right? There's ways to interpret that. It's like, well, this is the guy that had my back and believed in me and brought me here, and I believe in this guy and I got his back. I mean, you could simply just like that, and it really just kind of worked out that he was in the right vicinity at the right time of an interesting situation. So, it's a fascinating story. We don't see this very often. Like, this is pretty wild. Usually you get player stuff or things like that. We just don't see this. And
I like it.
I like it. I do too. You don't make a habit of this stuff every week. You don't do it maybe once every 3 weeks. I don't think.
I think you fight Andy Reid. I think you go out there and start something with Andy Reid. I think that's what you do to kind of set the table. And Brent, I also think maybe you should, you, as they say around here, you're the leader of the Action Sports Jax thing, right? You're in charge. I think you should look at Liam Coen and lead by example. I think you should go pick a fight with Frangie, and then we'll all follow you, and it'll be a whole thing. Like I think you could learn something from what Liam Coen did this last week.
Yeah, maybe. I like my chances in that one, at least for right now.
Might be abuse of a senior citizen, but that's all right. We're with you, dog. We got your back.
Be nice to Frank. But I'm not doing that. Maybe with the other media, though, because there was some fun media stuff going on. And speaking of, just as a note, because we like this and we talk about it, like Mr. 100K by Wednesday or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
This thing did go crazy yesterday, and we knew it was going to go crazy.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like, I mean, you just knew. But there's, just to give you a little context for us, like we're obviously hitting the road. We're on the bus. Marcel's got the video. By the time I hadn't even seen the video yet, he's sending it back to the station. And those guys are really busy because this is a late game, and we got a post-game show and a half-hour show at night. So there's a lot on their plate in a short window of time. And then you've got everybody calling, like Bleacher Report, ESPN, NFL Network, Fox, CBS. I mean, there's stuff that I had never even heard of. Somebody, is it called House of Highlights?
Oh, yeah.
They have like 51 million followers on Instagram. Well, they like direct message. I say call, but like they're in your direct messages and they're trying to ask for permission to use it. And you just, all that's going on. So you're like, yeah, but better give us credit, Ari.
Did you hear from Ari? Did Ari send any messages over?
Ari doesn't ask, but he did
scumbag.
But he put the handle in there, baby.
Let's fight that guy.
Hamby, you know what was great about the Hamby stuff on that one? Hamby puts a tweet out, and I don't know how much reaction you got, but at one time last night, I was like, man, we do have people listening to the show because they got what you were saying.
Yeah.
They fully understood what you were saying.
I just quote tweeted Ari and said, left Ari no choice this time. And that one, I think 150 people liked it. And I had a bunch of people saying, heck yeah, about time.
Nice. Here's the part of this that I kind of hate for Marcel, right? And like, I hate to say it. Nobody cares who shot that, right? Action Sports Jack, sure, put the logo on it, whatever. But like, I'm going to defend Marcel here because that's the type of guy I am. You got to know fully the situation of everything happening to be in the right spot at the right time, right? Like, Fox isn't getting that. You're not aware. I mean, sure, yeah, it's a story we're going to talk about on the sidelines, whatever. But, like, you got to kind of know that something might pop there. And who was there ready to make it happen? Marcel Robinson. Nobody knows that. House of Highlights don't give a damn about Marcel Robinson here at Action Sports Jax. But, I mean, you got to give credit where it's due. Bro was out there making it happen. You love to see it.
Yeah, well, the funny, there's some irony in all this, too, from our standpoint. See, I think the plan was, like we said, hey, you got to we thought maybe before the game, can you get Saleh and Coen? Because a lot of times the coaches will shake hands or something, or Shanahan and Coen. So we were keeping an eye on that. And then after the game, there are some things that you always try to see, whether it's just depending on who you're playing, right? The handshakes between you name it. And so Marcel was keen to that, obviously. And then you got to be in the right spot, right? You got to be in the right spot at the right time. There were a lot of cameras there that didn't get this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They just weren't in the right place at the right time, to your point. But there's one other added thing. It was kind of a good thing. I was supposed to get like Foye Oluokun on the field or right after, coming off the field in the hallway in the tunnel, because they wouldn't, whatever. They just want to let you on the field until everybody's off. But we were trying to do that for our post-game show. Well, so I'm texting, at the end of the game, Marcel. Well, Marcel doesn't see it. And so it actually works out in our favor that Marcel's not meeting me. And we also got stuck in the elevator a little bit. Like, all that communication was off. So then he just stayed out on the field and got his thing. Otherwise, I think I might have pulled him away from that moment. If not, which
we should
we
fight
would have
you
never
instead.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you would have never known, right? I mean, there's no harm if we don't get it, right? But then you end up getting. I was just a little surprised that more people didn't get it. There are a lot of cameras on the field, and it seems like Marcel was the only one that really got the exchange the way he got it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like you gotta pound the table for your guys. Like I'm surprised this guy hasn't got a raise. If I was him, I'd hold out. I wouldn't show back up to work. Actually,
okay, so
I'd come to work and not work. I'd hold in. Call me Terry McLaurin. I would hold in.
Yeah. Well, you pull a hamstring sooner or later if you do that. So there's one other element to this that I always say. What do I always say about this? Like, I love that the fun of it, it's going crazy. There's over, 5 million views? I don't know, whatever it is. If you
Way
add them
more
all
than
up.
that. Ari alone's got 3.5.
Okay, so whatever, probably 10 million views. And then I was like, we get so excited for it. It's like a rush of it, of like, wow, everybody's going with this. Good for the brand because we got the logo on there. But
means nothing.
You get nothing else.
Nothing.
You get nothing else.
Not a thing.
Like, can we have a penny for every 1,000 views? How about we just throw it in the kitty? A penny for every 1,000 views. Like, wouldn't it be nice if that were to happen?
We do what? What did you just say?
We throw it in the little kitty, like a little pool of money. Yeah.
Like the kiddie pool?
Yeah. I don't know what the heck it is. Yeah, it's just call it a kitty.
Stop.
That's what it is.
Just say anything else. It sounds questionable. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, you don't get nothing from
you guys
it.
take stuff crazy. But anyway, you get a penny for like 1,000 would be.
That'd be great.
Unbelievable.
We'd have like $6. That'd be great.
I don't know what we would get, but Marcel's getting nothing out of it,
which is a shame.
And
a damn shame. Hold in, Marcel. Hold in.
Good day for branding, I guess. To your point, and then we do have this, Hamby. I just sent you this in Google Drive.
It'd be $100,000, by the way, if we got a penny.
Is that what it'd be?
Really?
For about 10 million views?
Yeah.
All right.
For 10 million views, be $100K.
A little more than $6, isn't it, Hamby? Casey?
Yeah, I don't know math, but yeah, no, that would be good for
That wouldn't be
Marcel.
bad.
I mean, he should at least get 3/4 of that, if not more.
So hey, I sent you a Google Drive because not everybody wants to see the logo. So we put the logo where we put it on purpose. Like Stuart did a nice job of that because it would be hard to cut around,
Sure.
which people would do, right? If you put it up in the corner.
Damn right.
And
It's dumb.
well, so Sports Illustrated asked permission to use it. They use it. And Hamby, I don't know if you can find it or not.
I got the video. Oh, not Sports
You got the video?
Illustrated's.
Well, go grab it from the Google Drive and I'll show you what happened here. If you got it, if you can do that.
Oh,
I just
I
took an
see.
image of it.
Now we'll wait. We'll wait. We got to see this because Sports Illustrated. Listen, things might not be going too well in 2025. I'm not sure who's buying magazines, right? I think they're even discontinuing a lot of the magazine stuff. So Sports Illustrated, you're kind of on your last breaths here. And if you're telling me you're stealing content without giving proper credit, Sports Illustrated, we might fight y'all. I'm in a Liam Coen mood. I'll fight anybody. I don't give a damn, except Robert Saleh. I don't really want to fight him. But, you know, any normal person, I'll fight you.
So look what they did.
Oh!
Oh, I did see this. It didn't even register. They
Nah,
hacked it.
we need to fight them for real.
Wow.
Sports Illustrated, you guys are the worst.
I mean, what the heck? So they put the thing in, obviously with the title, over the logo. Our logo, I think you can barely see it right above the white part of that. And they covered it up.
Casey,
No
these guys would be
way.
known
Scumbags.
scumbags.
No, this is atrocious right here. Who do we know anybody that works for Sports Illustrated?
Shipley, but I don't think he's like directly related to any of this guy.
It's unfortunate that you're guilty by association. Don't. If I run up on Shipley, it's on site. I hate to tell you because we can't have this Sports Illustrated. Like, wow, that's ridiculous. We got to do something about this, Brett. What should we do?
I don't know what to do. I just called them out, but everybody else did a good job with it. They did give us credit. They like linked our handle, but they covered up the watermark on it.
Wow.
So
That was the only one. I think it was pretty much everywhere else. So I will say, nice job by Stewart to put it where he put it, because it was uneditable, if it's a word.
I bet Stuart. We got $6 coming for you in pennies.
We got $6. A little lunch, a little extra lunch. Maybe I'll.
Or you get lunch for $6, Doc.
Little lunch money. I'm buying Mason's Famous Lobster Rolls this week for everybody.
Hey, look at you.
Once they send us the check. MasonsLobster.com, by the way. Check them out. Ferndale Beach and the Town Center. If they'll send us the check for all.
Hey, are you about to golf?
Hey, I am going to plan to play a little golf, yeah.
Who are you playing with?
Do you get what pro?
Do you get a pro?
John Senden.
Nice.
I don't know. Actually, I haven't checked. I haven't had time to check the list of anybody else who's playing. But today's Pro-Am day. Really don't have a ton of time to play golf, but we're going to do it and probably get out of here because I'm already late. It started at noon. I'm hanging out with you guys instead.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get you out of here. Also, if you happen to see my dog Angel Cabrera walking around, tell him I need master stuff this week. I don't need an attitude on Friday. I know he doesn't like this. I don't know he doesn't like to sign the master stuff. Just tell him to look for Big Goof, red beard, kind of fat. I just need 2. It's not a big deal. So try to pass that by him if you see him at some point today.
Brent, before you get out of here, do you want to take your credit for your wager on the weekend?
I will, but by the way, I should also say that whole story around the big exchange between Saleh and Coen, and obviously what the Jags did to get win number 3, that's just part of our Republic Services recycled headlines of the day, recyclingsimplified.com, and I think that story is going to be recycled plenty of times over the next couple of days. So hey, how did I do? Looks like I did okay.
Not really. Still
Worst
losing,
to first.
Still losing overall total to me, but damn it. Hey, we don't got time, Brent, because you got to golf. But at some point, we're having a conversation about Indiana and what the hell happened out there. I'll wait till we're all back together. But actually, Sports Illustrated, I'm mad at you. You guys are an op. Shipley, don't catch me in the store. If I run into anybody associated with the University of Indiana, it's a problem. I want to be perfectly clear. It's a problem. And my aunt went there, and I'm about to go to her kid's wedding in a couple weeks. He's not getting a gift just because of the Indiana Association. I'm sick of it. What the hell was that?
That was a bad backdoor right there, man. That one was not cool. That does happen. All right, let's hit another break. You guys bring it back, and we'll put a bow on this thing. Jags Report live tonight, 7 o'clock, String Sports Brewery. Cam Little will be our guest. So we will see you there tonight, live on Fox 30 and on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, programming the rest of the day as well. But we'll take you until 1 o'clock. And we are live from Constellation Furyk and Friends here at Timuquana Country Club. Hopefully you get out here this week, and especially when play starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon, and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
Thanks for meeting me here. You're my only lawyer friend. your professional opinion.
Okay.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
That's all I paid for it. You know what you want?
Yeah. I think I do.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or get $1,750 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Damn it. You know, things were going so well because, first off, Florida State, have some respect. But then on Saturday, Oregon does it. And we had Oregon, right?
You did?
And Alabama does it. I know we had Alabama.
Yes.
We were 2-1, and I was like, we're back. Suck, as it turned out. And see, a lot of these are they're Austin picks. Like, I changed. He wanted Penn State. I picked Oregon. So there we go. But then he's the one saying about whatever Irsay on the West Coast. I'm like, that didn't work. They didn't win.
Well, I mean, if that guy doesn't fall down, they played a lot better than I thought they would.
That's fair. But, like,
the Bucks was a little bit of a pencil.
Bucks was bad. That was a him. The only one I changed was Jags. And
yeah, I go to G in that one.
Definitely did. The thing about the Bucks, though, is for a half second, they were coming back.
They were.
It was 30-something to, like, 7. They make it a ball game, and I'm like, could they? But then, like, you start doing the math, and it's like they're not going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Like, I wish more coaches would understand that the spread's important. I know no one's going to admit that.
Well, Lane does.
That's actually a great point.
Dude, he literally every press conference or tweet now, he's just mentioning whether they covered the spread or not.
He borderline, they need to check out what's going on with Lane Kiffin.
Literally, less than 5 minutes after the clock hits zero,
on the field,
he's
right?
doing an on-field interview with whoever it is, and he's talking about that they covered the spread and his daughter and the Whit Weeks thing and all that.
Sure, that was wild. Nobody, takes their job less serious and serious at the same time than Lane Kiffin.
Dude, you mean he's done an unbelievable job. I mean, Glenn C says Trinidad Chambliss for Heisman, not a reach. Well, it's a little bit of a reach, but still deserves a lot of credit for beating LSU with a backup quarterback who has a ton of talent, not your traditional backup quarterback. Might even be better than Austin Simmons, but still, he was at a D2 school last year, and it's his first big home SEC game. He played good enough to win.
Exactly. Lane Kiffin goes out there, draws it up, recruits, coaches, but
And
then
just trolls.
is worried about covering the spread and is DMing Sidney Thomas, and it's like, hey, man, what are we doing? All being said, Gators, call. He's not leaving Ole Miss for Florida, but call.
I really hope he turns him down.
He will.
I mean, he did for Auburn.
Ole Miss is a better job than Florida.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Right now it is.
Casey, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Their stadium hosts 50,000.
So what?
Not even close.
They win.
Because he's there.
I know, but think about the mess you're walking into in Florida.
I mean, his whole team at Ole Miss is a bunch of transfers. He can do the same thing at Florida. They have better. Look, I have been on. I spent 30 minutes on Stadium Pulse on Friday talking about Florida thinks too highly of themselves.
They do.
They're not a top 10 program right now, but they're a better program than Ole Miss is. They are better. They have way more money. They have more support. They have a better fan base.
Are they going to have way more money when they have to pay the buyout though to Napier?
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I wouldn't go if I was Lane.
It's only $20 million, which is $20 million, but in the grand scheme of things, in today's college football,
that's true.
It's only $20 million.
That's a wild statement. The part that it's only $20 million, but you're right. You're not wrong about what you said, but it's just a wild statement. The thing that I go off of that with though is, and it goes back to the picks a little bit. I feel like, and this might be wild, and you're going to disagree, but that's fine. I'm standing by this the rest of time. I feel like we can't pay the college kids to go play football if nobody can put a game together on the road. Nobody plays a good football game on the road.
Well, Bama did.
Besides the late window. Those two games. Oregon played a good game, and
well, then that's true.
Bama. Yeah. Nobody else on the road can do it. Ranked teams are in knockdown dragouts with non-ranked teams on the road.
Yeah, FSU cannot play on the road.
FSU, Indiana, who I yelled about, they demolish Illinois, who is significantly better than Iowa. They go to Iowa, can't do it.
Well, this would
nobody can play on the road.
Back up your point. Bama is that team other than Georgia. DeBoer is terrible on the road. Sure. Last year, even this year at FSU, for whatever reason, he can do it when it's against the Dogs.
There you go. Tennessee goes on the road and struggles with Mississippi State. Nobody can do it on the road. Very few. I'm not going to say nobody. Very few can do it on the road. Oregon went and did it. And that was the road, the road of roads.
But Dan Lanning's a psycho.
Dan Lanning.
He's a dog.
An interesting cat. And also Penn State is,
We knew.
I knew. Austin tried to argue with me.
I took it. I took Oregon.
Ohio State did, but they struggled. That's my point. Ohio State is a top whatever team in the country, and they go to Washington and couldn't put a half together.
Yeah, what was that, 13-6? I felt like going into the fourth quarter.
That's my point. The coach is getting paid millions. The quarterback's getting paid millions, and we can't go put a game together on the road? That to me doesn't compute. Because the NFL guys, I get it, they're grown men. They're all making millions, sure. Put a game together on the road, more times than not. But the college, you cannot play a full game on the road. You can play a half.
And that's what, again.
Watch Texas this week. They're going to go struggle with Florida. They're going to go struggle with a bad Florida team on the road.
Yeah.
And Arch Manning's making more than I'll ever see.
That over-under is at 43.5, by the way.
So it came down 10?
Well, I don't know if that 53 was ever published. Again,
Gotcha.
That was just what Vegas Insider website
43,
says.
where are we at?
That's a 21-20 ball game. 23-20.
Under. Gotta be. Florida. Texas.
Anyway.
I don't know. That stood out to me on Saturday. Maybe just because I bet on every road team, but
I never do.
I'm not again. I won't do it. I will sit here and argue with Austin Lane every week until I get fired again about picking teams on the road because I'm not doing it anymore. They can't handle it. If Ohio State can't do it, nobody can do it except Alabama and Georgia, but that ship has sailed. Maybe I'll argue about Oregon because they can do it, but what a just debacle.
Cam Robinson got traded.
Yeah, gone. We'll see you.
See ya. Texans, what are we doing? You got nothing on the offensive line, and you send him away for a pick swap, 6th or 7th?
Yeah, the Texans thing is odd. Now, yeah, they won big yesterday, but the Titans are terrible. I was dead wrong. I lost that bet. I thought the Titans would win whatever the over-under was in their games. 4
I
or
had
5.
that.
They're terrible. The coach is in over his head, arguing with reporters.
He was.
Saw that?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't having it with the reporters. And, like, here's the thing. I think when your number 1 overall pick's throwing for, like, 86 yards, I feel like you have the right to ask what the hell's going on. And then Cam Ward gets up there and is like, we're not going to lie. Every time I'm going to keep it a buck, we look like ass right now. Like, he's not wrong, and I respect him for saying it, but then you got the coach up there, like, trying to argue. It's like, and why is he the coach of the Titans anyway, by the way? Like, that was a weird hire last year anyway, and it wasn't good, and now it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, not that I feel bad for the Titans to screw them. I don't care. But, like, Cam Ward is on the already 4 games in. He's on the Trevor Lawrence trajectory in terms of multiple coaches and offensive coordinators in your first year.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate for him. But, again, not my problem. And at this point, if you're playing Tennessee, which the Jags still do twice, if you didn't already, you pencil those in as W's. You can't lose to Tennessee. Tennessee becomes a team that you can't lose to. And by the way, Texans kind of look that way right now. They beat Tennessee, but outside of that, against real competition, doesn't feel like a team you can lose to in the Houston Texans, whether you're on the road or at home. So, but Cam, we'll see you. Cleveland, huh?
Cleveland. And it wasn't even just like a 4 or 6. It was a pick swap. They swapped their 6th and 7th round picks.
They should investigate what's going on in Houston. Because they sent Laramie Tunsil away.
On the
They're
line.
Like, we don't want you. And now you're going to send Cam Robinson away. I'm not going to say here until Cam Robinson's God gift to offensive line, but we saw what they did against Jacksonville. They're terrible on the offensive line. So,
not even just like the best optics look if you're just trading away anybody on the offensive line.
No,
Probably
I mean, not even
the
that.
best.
I mean, a guy that's played in the league and been paid to play. Like, this isn't a guy that you picked in the 3rd round 2 years ago.
Right.
And as it turns out, he can't play. Like, again, Cam Robinson's not the best tackle to ever play the sport, but part of me wants to believe he's serviceable. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I feel like he's serviceable. And we'll see what happens when he goes to the Browns, but Cam Robinson will, what a disaster that is, but somehow beat the Packers. Did you watch the game last night, by the way?
Did not.
They tied.
I wish I would have.
40. Is it like
40-40?
Why are you allowed to tie in the NFL?
I don't know.
It's the stupidest of stupid in terms of sports rules. Tying in the NFL. That game is on, might have been after midnight, maybe just late 11s. I don't know. And we tie. And at the end of the game, the Packers played to tie. Like, the clock management was gross. They almost lost because Jordan Love, I don't know what the hell that was. But, like, they didn't really try to win at the end. They just tried not to lose. And that's one of your most anticipated games of the year, by the way, because of the Micah Parsons story.
Yeah.
And it ends in a 40-40 tie.
And it technically ends with Jerry Jones having another comment about kissing your sister. So, thanks, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry.
Micah Parsons, though, does make a huge play in overtime if you didn't see it yet.
Okay.
Dak scrambling probably scores. They're on like the 7, something along those lines. Micah gets them. So that holds him to the field goal, and then Lions. Yes, Micah Parsons with one big play in the football game. I will say Josh Jacobs. How about it? I was down whatever 0.5, or I was down 31 fantasy points. Josh Jacobs goes out there with a 32.5er, I believe it was.
Had a baby.
And I win by a half. How about that, Josh Jacobs? 2 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs 3 touchdowns if you had him in fantasy.
That's a weekend salvager.
That's pretty good. I only had him to score 1, but, he scored 3, so that was cool.
No problem.
And then, they tie. What a just disgusting.
And the Ravens were 1-4.
What's going on there?
Well, Lamar was hurt. I don't know what his.
Yeah, I mean, depends on who you ask, because the internet seems to think he just out there. Yeah, the Ravens is an interesting one, because they be putting up, like, if you go look at their points scored, it's 40, high 30s, and they just lose.
Oh, they're 1-3. Excuse me.
They're not. Yeah, they're not playing defense.
No.
So,
if Pat Mahomes scores 4 touchdowns on you, you don't have a defense, because Buddy's not doing that against anybody nowadays.
Yeah,
I probably shouldn't have said that.
I probably shouldn't have.
No.
I mean, let's hope it's not a trend, right? If you're from the Jacksonville part of that story, but the Chiefs against the Ravens look damn good.
They did look awesome,
and I'm not sure how much of a concern that would be coming in here, but I mean,
with Xavier Worthy coming back,
Worthy will be back. Mahomes spread it around yesterday. I mean, Hollywood Brown had one. Travis Kelce, I don't think scored, but had some catches. Checo, I think, had a receiver, just a rush. But he was spreading it around. Juju had one. They looked like the offense that we know the Chiefs have over the last couple of years. The question now is that because the Ravens couldn't stop us, or is that because the Chiefs are back? Hopefully it's because the Ravens can't stop us, for the Jags point.
Right.
That match.
Pacheco and Hunt combined for 20 carries for 70 yards. Xavier Worthy was their leading ball carrier with 2 end rounds for 38 yards.
I don't get that, because the one thing about Worthy is they run the end around at least once a game, like going back to last year, and it always gets positive yards. I know you don't know it's coming until it's coming, but like, how does that work every single time? It's like a 1 carry for 12 to 15 yards a game for Xavier Worthy in his career. Bro's going to retire and be the leading yards per carry rusher in the history.
Thanks.
Because he just keeps hitting it on the. Yeah. All right, that'll do it.
A lot more Jags talk tomorrow.
That's what they say. I think Austin might be back. Where is that guy?
Somewhere on a plane.
Haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him. No communication.
Well, except for the fact that
that was scummy. Yeah, that was. The one thing that I'm feeling good about the dartboard situation is Brent still hasn't done his thing. So the way I see it, whatever I end up hitting over here, I don't have to do until at least November. Yeah. So I'm good. I'm not worried about it at all. But we think maybe Austin will come back tomorrow. Maybe not. Stay tuned. Brent will be back from golf. Hamby will be here. I'll be here against my will. But there it is. 2 months in the book. Brent at the top in September. Austin still at the top overall. Hamby, my dog, you gotta.
Hey, I don't care.
I respect it. I respect it completely. But I gotta be better. This one's on Indiana.
Mine's on Georgia. Win the game, and I'm soaring up these charts.
Well, you gotta stop having all the same teams in the parlay. That'll do it. Jags Report live later tonight. Watch it on the network. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items